woke up, soaked from a bad dream. I've been sweating like crazy. Got up, skin stuck to the veggies. Open window for a cold breeze. I have nothing to eat in my kitchen. Old coffee and yesterday's pizza. Listen, I promise to clean my floor, but I have no interest to fulfill my chores today. As long as the sun is shining and the weather is showing its face, just like me, it's been hiding. People painting the world with its rays. So I skip on my obligations, like so many times before. Reach for the door out to reclaim my faith in the making. God, I am here for the taking. Oh, it's a matter of opinion if I'm right, but I'm leaving off for now to go outside, putting chores and obligations on our pile. See them towering over me, know it too high.
I had it with this shit, yo, I gave it all I got, but it seems like it's not enough. Now I'm sitting there watching all these bills piling up like, damn, I need a change for the better. Scratch that, I need a change for the cheddar. Gotta get up, 9 to 5, have a regular life. With the knowledge knowing that I'm not a regular guy. See, I'll be more than me's a regular. I like Optimus Prime with my spectacular mind, composing these delicate rhymes. But I'ma design a different future for me. I had a good run with it, but it just ain't what it used to be. And truthfully, I trust nobody in this industry. They only come around when they want something like a fucking leash. But I'm cool, mama didn't raise no fool, so I'ma do what I do and chunk up the dues. And I'll be back in the booth when the stars align. But meanwhile,
it's a matter of opinion if I'm right, but I'm leaving off for now to go outside, putting chores and obligations on our pile. See them towering over me, know it too high. It's a matter of opinion if I'm right, but I'm leaving off for now to go outside, putting chores and obligations on our pile. See them towering over me, know it too high. It's a matter of opinion if I'm right, but I'm leaving off for now to go outside, putting chores and obligations on our pile. See them towering over me, know it too high.
Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Matter of Opinion. Those who are joining from YouTube and Facebook, I appreciate you for joining us on this Saturday night. We got a lovely guest, Miss Tia, pretty much who's part of the Matter of Opinion family. So, you want to say hello to everybody?
What's going on, everyone? Thanks for tuning in with us.
So, yeah, today we got an interesting show for everybody. Now, before we start off, for some reason on this thing, let's put the chat overlay. And it doesn't list the Facebook users. So unfortunately, we won't be able to see the names of the Facebook users. But okay, so we got Janet Martin in the building. We got Strategic Eyes. What's going on, brother?
Hey,
Strategic Eyes
strategic.
in the building. We got Vic 76. Me and Vic 76 just recorded a video that's talking about the hypocrisy of, the Spanish and the Black community. So definitely look forward to that video. It's an interesting conversation that we had. But
Hey,
yeah,
Vic.
so today we're going to discuss a couple of different topics. We're going to discuss either, what is her name, Fallon Harris, the woman
Yeah.
that shot her son, her 12-year-old son over a memory card. Then we're going to talk about the subway worker who had somebody try and rob the store. She defended herself and then wind up getting suspended, and I think
Mm.
later fired. Then we're going to talk about the 911 operator, Precious Stevens, who was deliberately hanging up on people that was calling. And this was around the time of what's the storm that we just had passed?
Ida.
Ida. Exactly. And then the woman who attacked her sister while she was in an interview.
Don't tell them why yet.
Yeah.
Don't tell.
Yeah. Yeah. That's gonna be interesting with that. So let's start off with the Fallon Harris situation. Well, this was a woman who she worked for, I believe, the state.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
No,
worked
it's
for
the
the state.
city.
Yeah,
She
the
worked for
city.
the
She
city.
worked for the city. She was going through mental health issues. Her and her husband was separated. And yeah, she was going through mental health issues. Now, as she was going through her mental health issues, people in her family saw she was acting strange or whatever. They tried to seek help. And that Friday, she went to see a counselor. She actually had the therapy session. And the next day was when she shot her 12-year-old son asking for a memory card.
Mm.
So I got the video queued up. Let me play it for everybody so they can see what the rundown on this is. All right.
Tonight, as the mother sits behind bars, her family speaking out about mental illness, saying that topic should be front and center in this tragedy. Kaden Ingram was only 12 years old. He was the joy of my life. He was everything that a father could ever want in a child. The seventh grader shot and killed on Saturday morning inside of his home on the city's south side. Police say the shooter was his own mom. Fallon Harris now facing murder charges. This hurt me feeling. It's undescribable.
Let me take this.
Caden's dad got the call just a short time after investigators say Harris opened fire inside of the home in the 8,000 block of South Bennett Avenue. The shots fired after investigators say she asked her son to hand over a memory card. When he didn't have it, detectives say she shot him. The child was still conscious, but that's when investigators say Harris walked back again and opened fire a second time. Caden died. Because his mother is a loving mother. She loved him more than she loved anything in this world. Family members say Harris was struggling mentally. They say she just saw a therapist the day before the shooting. People need to know that mental illness is real. Right now, Harris is held without bond on the south side. I'm Alexis McAdams, ABC 7 Eyewitness News. Hey, if you like that
All
video,
right.
be sure to
So,
subscribe to our ABC.
what do you think of this situation as a whole? Like, do you think her mental health, like, do you think she should actually get some type of grace or something because of her mental health? Or do you think she should basically, get maximum prison sentencing or whatever's coming to her?
See, I'm a little torn. And the reason why I'm torn is because they didn't really go in depth with the story. So initially, they said that she confronted him about the memory card
Mhm.
and then shot him. And you don't see that on the camera because they had that in the house. You
Yeah.
don't see that, but you hear the kid, screaming at the top of his lungs and crying. She then took a phone call and then was able to go back to the boy and again pressure him about this memory card. And then I believe that is the time you do see it on camera when she shot
Hmm.
him again. I believe she shot him multiple times in the head, if I'm not mistaken,
Hmm.
and was able to call her family and tell them what she did. She called the father and then she called the police. So I'm a big advocate for mental health. Let me just say that. But to me, even if it wasn't premeditated, she just had too many opportunities. You know what I mean? Like, to me, it's just if you have a mental break, you just do something, right? But
Hmm.
for me, when she originally shot him, and then you had time to, again, go back and pressure him, you take a phone call, you're able to call all these different people and tell them what you did. To me, it just sounds a little bit like, okay, was this a mental health break, or is this an excuse that they're going to try to use to, either get her bail or to give her a lighter sentence? So to me, that's why I'm a little torn between,
Okay.
that sort of thing.
See me, I think the family should also play a role into it too. I believe the family definitely played a role as far as like putting blame on them. Because here's the thing: the husband, right? They
Hmm.
separated because she was going through her mental health issues and she was off or whatever, right?
Yeah.
The woman was licensed to carry a gun. You know, there's a child involved, right? So, with that being said, him, he should have fought to take the kid out of the household. You get what I'm saying? So that's number one. Number
Yeah.
two, I can understand, a person's going through mental health issues, whatever, but it's reported that even the son said that, yo, my mom's just tripping or whatever. Like when she spoke to the grandmother, the father, all of these things came, like all these things came to light in the report that he said, like, my mom's not the same and everything like that. Now, after she saw the therapist, because the mother flew into town and that's how the therapy session got set up. So when she came into town and set up the meeting for her to see the therapist, after the therapy session, she tried to speak to her. She like blew it off, like, oh, I don't, like, pretty much just shrugged it off her shoulder. They didn't even give it the time of day to actually even speak to her about it. You get what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
gotta put some blame on the dad, unfortunately, because if you left the household because you knew she was off, you know she's licensed to carry a gun, and you still keep this child in that house, to me, that's unacceptable. That's unacceptable on all parties.
I mean, I'm just gonna play. Always gotta
Yeah.
play devil's advocate, right?
Hmm.
I don't know what the situation was in terms of her and the father, in terms of who had visitation, what was the custody agreement. And
Hmm.
then also, you also have to look at the fact that if she wasn't diagnosed with a mental health illness, whether it's schizophrenia, bipolar
Hmm.
disorder, any of those things, technically you don't know when it's just okay, I'm going through something, I'm depressed, or okay, this person has been clinically diagnosed. Now those are two completely different scenarios. So until we know all of those specifics, I can't so much put too much blame on the father in that aspect. But I do
Hmm.
understand where you're coming from in terms of, if you left the house because this was too much for you, why didn't you take your son with you?
Yeah.
And
Before,
unfortunately, yeah.
no, no, go on.
No, and I
I
was
thought you were
also
gonna
going
say.
to say, depending on the state that you're in, unfortunately, they don't do these in-depth, reviews of people before they give you your gun license. Or who knows, maybe she was having a mental health break after she was approved for this, gun license. Who knows? But we do need stricter laws and better resources and care for our people out there who are dealing with mental health issues. And then
I just.
also, let's talk, and not to cut you off, but it also reminds me of the video that we did a while back when we talked about how mental health is viewed in the Black community. So who knows if maybe she was telling different people, hey, this is how I'm feeling. I believe there was one report, they said that she felt like someone was coming after her, people were watching her. And it's like, okay, well, why didn't you take that seriously? Why didn't you take the little boy for a little bit? Like, hey, I'll watch him for this weekend. Or, you know what I mean? Something
Yeah.
to try, even if it wasn't to help her, but at least to make sure that that little boy was safe.
So before I say my part, I want to give a shout out to Kiara Brown. Thanks for joining the stream. Yellow Man, thanks for joining the stream. Tony Bethea, thanks for joining the stream. Let me see, is there anybody else I mixed? And Gary Mouse. All right. So I'm sorry. I know in a lot of cases, whatever, like we like to bring up mental health issues as far as when a crime and stuff is done. The only time I can say mental health can play a role as far as in a crime is if that person was literally seeking help, right? If that person was seeking help and the system actually failed that person to give them the help they need. For instance, like let's say you have your medication, right? Your medication ran out. You're trying to seek help to get more medication. And it's like, oh well, you're not due for your re-up yet, stuff like that or whatever. Because I know a situation like that personally where the person who was staying with me, they had to get their meds. Once they ran out of their meds, there was like a time period that they had to wait for them to re-up or something like that or whatever. So there's cases where stuff like that unfortunately happened. This is a case where everybody, like her employer, was basically saying, "Yo, we have everything given to you for you to get the help that you need. It'll be paid for the whole nine." Pretty much the job was looking to work with her, and she pretty much like denied. Like it seems came off as if she denied the service or whatever. So this case, I'm sorry. I understand mental health may have played a role, but I got to look for maximum penalty for this woman. Like whatever the sentence is, like it is what it is. She has to get what's coming to her. I
No,
can't just
I
chalk it up to.
definitely agree with you.
Oh,
As I mentioned,
before you. Oh, thank you. Strategic Eyes for the super chat, and
thanks,
his message
strategic.
say, "We always fail when it comes to mental health in America." You want to tackle that one? Oh, and before we go, before you give your part, definitely jump over to Strategic Eyes Show's channel because this guy's channel, man, you're talking about a person that'll break down and dissect things. And funny thing is, a lot of things or stories that you hear on YouTube that everybody like, think they got the results of everything that's going on. Let's just say if a story breaks out, everybody think they know what the story is, but this man right here will break it down, give you another perspective, and about 90% of the time, he's right with his perspective on things. So you
Yes.
definitely want to check out Strategic and be sure to catch his lives because, like I always say, that's one of the best live shows on YouTube when this brother's on. So definitely hop over to his channel. But yeah, you want to tackle what Strategic just said?
No, I definitely agree. When it comes to mental health in America, we definitely do a disservice to people. Even with the right to the family.
Hmm.
Even if you're married to someone with mental health issues, it's still only but so much that you can do. It's almost as if you have to wait until something extreme like this happens
Hmm.
before it's, oh, okay, now we can do something. And it's like, well, why wait that long when we were already telling you this is what's going on? The employer was involved. Like there were so many different reports of this incident. But I also understand now where you're coming from too about everyone else that was involved and who should also take accountability. Because I don't understand how it was all of these signs and nobody thought to take care of the son.
Mm. Okay, so what do you say to this? Because the way it comes off with the job and everything, saying like here's the resources and everything like that, that was basically there for her.
Yeah.
What do you say to that? Like, because from the looks of it, it looked like she turned it away. And even when she did go into her first session, she was like very standoffish when her mother was actually wanting to speak to her about it.
But again, it goes back to what strategic was saying. Like we need to have, I don't want to say harsher, we need to have stricter laws when it
Hmm.
comes to mental health. Anything pertaining to your mental health, because maybe if we did have different laws, maybe the employer could have said, you know what, you're suspended until you provide us with a doctor's note that says that you're under their care, or
Let me ask you
maybe.
this. Let me ask you this too. Do you think if the job took that approach, she would have actually went to it? Because it's reported, I believe she was making like $49 and like 50 cents or 90 cents or something like that. She was making a good amount of change per hour.
I mean, probably because once you start hitting people in their pockets, they
Yeah,
definitely will take
yeah.
it. I mean, well, that's how we handle things in higher education. Depending
Okay.
on the institution, if a student has a mental health, like something actually happens or something is
Yeah.
reported, again, depending on the institution, they can't come back until they have a note that says they're under a doctor's care. So I'm not exactly sure how the city of Chicago handles it, but depending on where you work, and also when you go to school, sometimes they have that in place, and it's more so to also protect you against yourself.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
that's true.
maybe if there were some stricter things in place, maybe she would have got the help that she needed, and maybe this wouldn't have happened.
See, I honestly believe this was a straight up situation of mental health
Yeah.
because when she shot him and he was on the ground hurting and she went to the phone and took a phone call and then came back for a mother to see your child on the ground bleeding out, hurting, suffering, and for you to just turn a blind eye, ask the same question, where's the memory card, and then just shoot them point blank range, nothing. Something has to be wrong with you mentally for you to do that.
I hear what you're
You
saying,
get what I'm
but for
saying?
her to take the phone call after she shot him the first time, it's like, at what point, like, I understand what you're saying. Okay, if she had a mental health break, okay, you do something in that moment. And like you said, if it was mental health, maybe if she saw her son on the floor bleeding out, maybe something would have snapped in her to say, oh, wait a minute, I just did a heinous act right now. But she took
Mhm.
a phone call, like you had a whole full-blown conversation,
Check
and then
this
you
out.
go back to, you know
check this out. When you're dealing with somebody that has a mental health issue, a serious mental health issue, and I'm talking through experience because I had somebody I was staying with that had a mental health issue.
Okay.
They're oblivious to this stuff. It doesn't register. It don't compute.
Yeah, but
You
did
get
they
what I'm
do
saying?
something as heinous as this act though?
They didn't do something that was heinous, but when it comes to simple tasks, as much like just the simple fact of leaving the door wide open, whatever.
Yeah,
And
but a
it's like you
simple
don't.
act is not
I
shooting your child.
I understand. I understand. A simple act is not shooting your child, but even for any little like what I'm saying is they're warped from reality. So while you're saying even if you shoot your child or something, if their mind is that warped, trust me, they're it's not gonna click that they did something heinous. Like it's crazy to the outside person. You don't compute it, but when you see it up close and personally, it's like, yo, it's just like the person I was staying with who had the mental health issue or whatever, right?
Hmm.
If I had a gun in the house, I would not leave my kids around this person because I don't know what they're capable of doing just for the safety of my children. You get what I'm saying? Now, if this was a case where she stabbed them or something, I can't put the blame on the dad. But this is a situation where the man knew she had license to have a gun and had a gun in the house. And then on top of that, you're paranoid because you feel your people's out to get you. So what happens when you feel your son was out to get you? Then what? You're gonna look to defend yourself. You get
I
what I'm
hear what
saying?
I hear what you're saying, but shooting again, if she would have shot him once and okay, she was still badgering him about it, and like I don't know, if the turn of events were a little different, I would be more so on the mental health side. But the fact that you shot him, took a whole full blown conversation, and then you went back and
Yeah,
then you were able to call people, like you
yeah.
called his dad, you called the cops, you called your, I believe she called may have called her mom to say, hey, this is what I did right now. So you are fully aware of what you did.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing with that. What I agree, she should get maximum penalty for whatever she did. But what I'm saying, if you ask me, is this case actually something that was mental health related?
Hmm.
Yes, it was. Now that's on her that she didn't seek the help that she needed. That's on her. But if you're asking me, looking at it, can I chuck it up to her mental health? Absolutely. I chuck it up to it because, like I said, this was something I witnessed up close and personal. How warped a person can be when they're out of their like when they don't have it all all up here whatever because they're going through a mental health issue, and the mental health issue was depression. It wasn't having this feeling, and they was warped. So just imagine you have the feeling that somebody is out to get you or trying to kill you. That's a whole different level, and depression can lead to other things or whatever. But
Absolutely.
yeah, if you ask me, like, I gotta chuck this up to, I'm not saying it's justified or whatever the case may be, but out of a lot of cases that they say mental health played a part in it, I will say definitely for this one, mental health definitely played a role in it.
And you also bring up a good point in terms of like the family taking accountability. And that even goes for people out there. Like if you know of someone who, isn't acting like themselves,
Yeah.
or, someone who maybe is saying things that are a little off,
Hmm.
off the cuff, you should always make sure that you check on them, especially if they have children. Like I had a friend where maybe about a month ago, we were hanging out and, she broke down crying to me over a few personal things. And not only did I make sure like that evening, like, okay, I was checking on her, she was by my side, but even to this day, continuing to check in with her, like, hey, what's going on, sis? How you feeling? How's everything? Oh, what's going on? You want to do something with the kids? You want to like just to make sure in that constant communication, because people fail to realize that when people in a sense ghost you, or you don't hang out with them as much, or you don't talk to them as much, stop taking it personally.
Yeah.
Sometimes people go through things that are outside of you, and instead of taking it as, oh, such and such doesn't want to hang out anymore, such and such is the, no, how about you ask them, like, yo, what is going on with you? I remember you mentioned this, like, is everything okay? Or, hey, why don't we just
Hmm.
go out to eat? And then subtly try to, pick it out of them, like, what's going on? Just little things like that, because I think sometimes the signs are right in front of us, and it may not be as obvious as this case, and we
Hmm.
overlook them, and there are people who are struggling with depression right in front of us.
I agree with that 100%. And another thing I would love for us to be able to do too is people who are suffering from mental health issues, like I understand they're protected by the law, but you can't force them into going into therapy. You can't do none of that. It has to be a situation where they're detrimental to themselves or somebody else that's when you can like force their hands into seeking the help they need. So I
Yeah.
wish they could have a system where you can actually like force them into going to get the help that they need.
Yeah.
Like it
I
shouldn't get
agree.
to that point where they're detrimental to themselves. Because let's be honest, you can see it when somebody is like, "Yo, this person's on the break of being a detrimental to." Like you can see these things, but unfortunately, you can't do anything until it gets to that point, and that's sad.
Absolutely.
That's sad. That's sad.
Absolutely. And the one thing that I always say is a gift and a curse. I always call myself a empath. And what that means is that, I can sense people's energies. And especially in my profession, it could be tough
Hmm.
because sometimes you don't know when to separate.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, like, I can sense when somebody has a negative aura or a sad energy before they
Hmm.
even, say hi to me. And sometimes, like, again, another example, I had went out with some friends, and a friend of a friend, she came with us, and I noticed her energy was a little blue. And I had asked my friend, I said, is she okay? Because I could sense something's going on. And she's like, really? How did you know that? And I told her, I was like, I can sense it. And
Yeah.
granted, everyone doesn't have that ability to, sense those things. But for my
Yeah.
empaths out there, they know what I'm talking about, where you can sense when someone isn't like themselves, even if you don't know them from a hole in the wall. And I wish a lot of times that we were that observant of the people around us and even the
That's
people
true.
we work with, with everything going on with this pandemic and the uncertainty of jobs and everything else. Like, I just wish that we would give each other a little more grace and just check on people every now and
Yeah.
again. If you haven't heard from them in a couple of weeks or months, just randomly, hey, such and such, how are you doing?
I
Oh,
agree.
you just ran across my mind. I just want to make sure everything is okay.
I
And they
agree.
may open up to you, they may not, but at least you could say, you know what, I tried.
Before we go on, let me see. G Doll, thank you for coming into the live. She's from Brooklyn, representing Brook Lawn. Appreciate you being here. And we also got Anthony Upton. Appreciate it. All
Hey,
right.
Anthony.
All right. So we're gonna open up the lines if anybody want to call in and give their take on what they think. Um, so here's the link. Let me drop the link in here. So anybody want to join in, click the link. You don't have to show yourself if you don't want. All you got to do is disable the camera and just have the microphone and speak your piece. In the meantime, we'll go through the comment section. So let me see. One comment right here. We have Gary Milton. That's an excuse. Death penalty. What do you think? Should she get the death penalty?
I think so. Like I
You think
said,
death penalty?
it's one thing if she would have shot him and not excusing it. It's one thing if she shot him once and then came to. But if you shoot him, your child no less, have a full blown
Yeah.
conversation and then go back to shoot him again multiple times in the head. So that's not like, oh, I'm shooting you randomly in the leg. And it no.
Yeah.
Do you know how good of a shot you have to be and focus to shoot someone in the head multiple times?
And it's
Like,
crazy? It was over a memory card. A memory card that go on your cell phone.
I really want to know what was on that memory card
Yo,
because, like,
yo.
wow.
She better, I don't I don't know, like $1 billion or something. Like I don't know, but yeah, that's bananas.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Erica Pierre said, I want the maximum extent of the law. You harm the child, mental illness or not. I agree. 100%. I
Absolutely.
agree. Let me see. Gary Miles also says, so you are not the person to talk to. But I don't know if that was for me or was that for you or not.
I don't know.
I guess Gary, if you can clarify who was that comment for? Was it for me or was it for Miss Tia?
And why?
Yeah, exactly. Let me see. Erica Pierre, unfortunately, you can't just take the child away from the other parent. The dad could be pursuing court to get custody, but if there's no mandate in place already there, nothing. I agree. That's true.
Mhm.
We don't know if he was fighting or not, but when he was speaking, I didn't hear anything about him saying he was fighting in custody or anything like that. That would be something, a parent would point out.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
Strategic Eye said she killed a child. She should humanely be incarcerated for the rest of her life. We don't need her to reproduce again, and we don't need her in society. I agree. I agree 100%. And he also said, I feel for the father. I agree. Because
Absolutely.
if I was the father, number one, I would feel bad because I'm just like, yo, this is something that I possibly could have fought for to it could have been avoided. Even if it was just like, yo, let me hold him a couple of nights, whatever. Once you get back to normal and everything and take care of your demons, he's all yours. We don't got to go to court. We don't got to fight through this. Just let me make it easier for you. Like, take the diplomatic route. I know you're going through a lot. Let me take at least one load off of you so that you can, take the time to get yourself together, yada yada, something along them lines. You get what I'm saying? So who knows? But yeah, I would feel bad. How would you
Absolutely.
feel if that was you, where you felt maybe you could have possibly did something, but you failed to, and now this person is dead or your child is dead?
I'll be very honest with you. Even in my personal situation, without going into full details, even
Hmm.
when my son was a baby, I didn't trust him around his other side because of certain things that had happened.
Hmm.
And I just personally felt like, well, you know what? If you really want to be an active role in his life, take me to court, and they could work on your visitation. They could work
Yeah.
on, all of that stuff. So we have it, outlined and it's legal and it's in writing, because, it's certain things that I don't play with. Like, for anyone who knows, my background is psychology, and it's certain things I
Hmm.
don't play with
Yeah.
when it comes to people's mental health. And even if it wasn't mental health, even if it was just saying certain things because you're not getting it, whatever the case may be, there were just too many incidents that happened. And I felt like, you know what, you can mess with me, but when it comes to my child, I'm sorry, I'm gonna lose my
Yeah.
mind.
I
I'm
agree. I
gonna lose
agree.
my mind. You don't
I
touch my
agree.
babies.
Yeah. G Doll said some mothers are not meant to be one. I
I
agree.
agree.
Especially in today's time, yo, a lot of mothers are taking out their children. Like, it's crazy.
I agree. And
Like, why not just give the child to the other parent
but
or
sometimes it's
another
not that
family member?
sometimes it's not that simple, because, and I'm not trying to open up another can of
No, no,
worms and
no, no.
start an
I'm just saying,
argument.
like,
But
no.
how many times is, the father in the picture, and how many times is the father in the picture enough where they would want full-time custody
No,
of
I
the
get
child?
that. But what I'm saying is even other family members. This way you have time to decompress. You get what I'm saying? Call your
Yeah.
mother up, your sister up. Hey, look, I'm going through a lot. These kids are driving me crazy. Can you take these some of my bees off me for a sec? You get what I'm saying? Like, because in the heat of rage, you're gonna say whatever it is, referring to your children. Don't front everybody. Once in a while, you probably called your kids out their name
Nope.
out of
My
anger
son
or
is an
frustration.
angel.
Never. Well, I guess I'm a bad dude then, because
It's not the child, it's the
actually,
behavior.
actually, I'll say these ninjas. These ninjas is acting
You
up
do say
or
that.
stuff like that or whatever. But yeah, but I don't like, as far as like calling them something like derogatory or negative. Nah, I don't take it that far. I'm joking, whatever. But I do be like, yo, these ninjas,
Yeah.
like they got it up to here with me. But that's
No,
as
you're
far as it goes
absolutely
or whatever.
right. And that was one of the main issues when it came to the whole pandemic, and everyone had to shut down, and the virtual learning and stuff, was because usually when students come into school, parents, you know, whatever they may have done to the child, the child was able to go to school and report that to the teacher. But
Hmm.
when they started doing virtual learning, child abuse, food insecurity, all of those things that would have been addressed had they been physically in school, a
Yeah,
lot of the kids, they weren't getting that same attention, and a lot of
that's
things were
true.
swept under the rug. And then let's not even talk about how DIFUS, or whatever it may be called in your state, a lot of them were virtual. They weren't,
Mm,
all of them weren't making face-to-face
that's true.
visits. They were doing
That's true.
virtual visits. How easy is it for you to just say, okay, such and such, come on, sit here in front of the computer. You're hiding the bruises on your legs, but here, you're only seeing me from the shoulders up. So it's like, oh, okay, Tia must be good. I'll write this in my
Mhm.
notes. We'll move on to the next case, when you don't see everything else that's going on. So
That's true.
this pandemic definitely it hit us in a lot of ways, not just financially.
Anthony Upton said she may have been aware and would most likely hit her. She may have been aware and would most likely hit her later. Unfortunately, there may come a day that she is looking for her son, which is at that time she might realize that she killed him. That's true. She might
Yeah.
not, it might not hit home fully to when she really like come to her senses and be like, "Yo, I really killed my son."
Yeah,
Like that's deep.
you're right.
G Dall said this story I saw on the news is heartbreaking, and I'm a mom myself. Yeah, so I definitely understand how it hit home to you, and it's personal. Because
Exactly.
although you got those people that are willing to women that are willing to kill their child, you have a lot of women like yourself, G Doll, who they cherish their children. They'll do anything to protect their children, just like you, Tia. So yeah,
Exactly. And then also think about those women who want to have children who can't. So to hear a story like this, I know it pulls at their heartstrings.
yeah. Tony Bethay said, "Well, I have a friend. He's going through a lot, and he was under depression because he caught his wife cheating. He always come to me about his problems, and I told him I'm there, but I'm not married. Yeah, that's something tough to go through, especially if you suffer through depression. That could actually break the camel's back
Oh yeah.
in a negative way where it could turn into an ugly situation. So kudos to your friend for being strong to not letting that break him.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I mean that sincerely because stuff like that can usually make a person snap.
Oh yeah.
So kudos to him for being strong. Definitely. Let me see. G Doll tired of people keep saying she has mental problems. Too many kids are dying senseless. I agree. I agree. A lot of times people do chuck stuff up to mental health. Or here's the thing: if a person was actually going to therapy and all of this stuff and had a track record that yes, they was going to therapy and seeking help, a crime happened, and then you say yes, this person had mental health, I can understand it. But don't tell me mental health when you did nothing to try and correct it, and now all of a sudden you bringing up mental health.
Yeah.
Like it sounds like a scapegoat. You get what I'm saying? It sounds like a
Absolutely.
pure scapegoat. So, all right, let's see here. Next one by G Doll. The family court is broken. Court system needs reforms for good fathers, not deadbeats. I agree. I
Absolutely.
agree. And let me see. I agree. Okay. And another thing she said, which I'm gonna have to look into, the worst story of NY is the beloved mother to be killed by the ex-boyfriend in Harlem. Now kids have no mother or father. Wow. Did you hear about that story or?
Yes. Is that the one where the woman was pregnant and it was at her baby shower?
I believe so. Yeah, I think so. I think so.
I wonder if that's the one she was referring
Probably.
to.
Probably. Yeah, I heard about that. I believe you said you was gonna do a story on that. You was gonna cover
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's a sad story, man. And because of somebody's breakdown or whatever the case may be, a 12-year-old boy is gone. Like it's sad. It's sad.
Exactly.
All right.
Didn't even have a future. Yep, she said
So
it's the one up with the baby shower.
okay. Okay. All right. So we're gonna segue into another story, which is the subway worker who defended herself during a robbery and wind up getting suspended for defending herself. Like, does that make sense to you?
No.
I got a different take on that. So yeah, let me run this video real quick. All right, so here we go. Window. Let me know if you can hear it.
Yep, we can hear it.
So there you go, like right there on the top right corner, tussling.
This is crazy. Hmm.
Pistol whipped them too.
That's
All
right.
right.
Go on, gal.
Okay. So what is your take on that? Like seriously, what is your take on that?
Well, first off, I think because her adrenaline was probably running, which was probably why she handled it the way that she did. Because I think under normal circumstances, I don't know if she would have handled it the same way. But I definitely feel like she was right in defending herself. It could have went left, especially with him having the gun. But I'm so glad that she walked out of that, with her life. And it's unfortunate that she lost her job because not only was she defending her life, but in a sense, she was defending her job. She defended them from being robbed. So I don't understand why they would fire her for that.
See, I got a different take on it, man.
Okay.
I think she was clout chasing.
What do you mean?
Look, number one, okay, let me pull it up because I'm gonna show you what I mean. Number one, if a robber comes into a store, right, and to rob
Hmm.
you and say, "Give me your money," what robber do you know is actually going behind the counter to get money? If he
Wait,
wanted the
it's a
purse,
black screen. Were you playing it?
no, I just left it there. I'm
Oh,
gonna play
okay.
it in a second. What robber you know they would stand under the counter with the gun saying, "Yo, give me your purse." You're not going behind the counter. That's number one. Number two, I want you to see something. They're tussling, right? They're
Uh huh.
tussling right here. The gun
Okay.
falls on the ground, right?
Hmm.
So now there's a part where they break up. They're split apart.
Okay.
Why wouldn't you just go down and grab the gun at your feet? She's literally across the room, walks over to the gun that's literally by his foot
Mm.
and picks it up. And he backs away from it.
So wait, you think that this was staged?
I believe so because she's the one that uploaded. The reason why she got suspended and fired was because she uploaded the video. She took the video, uploaded it to TikTok. And at
Okay.
first, she said, "Oh, I don't know how the video got uploaded." Then later came out and said, "I uploaded the video." To me, I'm sorry, this seemed like it was staged.
But I'm wondering if, okay, so again, always got to play devil's
Yeah.
advocate. So I'm wondering if it was an issue, and in terms of like legality, she couldn't admit initially that she was the one that uploaded the video.
No, that's what she told the bosses when they called her to
Okay.
save like her job because it was like, "Yo, you being suspended or whatever the case may be." But I'm sorry if somebody come to rob you, like G Doll said in the comment. Where is it at? She just said, "If someone robbed me, I'm giving them everything. My life is valuable." I agree 100%. Okay, a person come into your job, right, and
Yeah.
go to rob you. They say, "Give me your purse." You're not giving up your purse.
I mean, I can't give them what's in the purse. like I can't give them my wallet because the
So
purse
you,
costs more than what's in the wallet. You see how big my
yo,
bags are?
yo, I'm just saying, this seems staged because if that dude was a rob like trying to rob her, the minute that gun fell, yo, you going after the gun.
Yeah, but see, not necessarily because think about it. Sometimes you have a lot of dumb criminals. And what if it was a person who was, I'm not trying to be funny, but what if it was a crackhead? Like, what if it was somebody who's just trying to get their next hit or something? How do we even know the gun was loaded? Like, it could
That,
have been,
that's true.
it could, I mean, granted, maybe he wouldn't have backed away if it was loaded, but I'm just saying, like, sometimes when things happen, it's fight or flight. And who's to say that, like I said, her adrenaline was running and she just in her mind, if it's either me or you, I'm gonna defend myself. Yeah,
I'm
someone else said
sorry.
it looked
Yeah,
staged.
I'm sorry. When you go behind the counter to grab somebody's purse,
Yeah.
not to frisk them, to grab their purse, get into a tussle, the gun literally fall by your leg, and the person is literally 5 feet, 5 to 10 feet across from you. They walk. She didn't run. She didn't even run to the gun. She walked. Like, yo, she could have grabbed. She could have made a Subway sandwich, stopped at something,
See,
grab
now
a
you're
drink,
exaggerating.
ate some cookies, wipe her mouth, use the restroom, and then grab the gun. Like, seriously, yo. And
Oh
then she
man.
uploaded it. Yo, I'm sorry. Either he had to be the most dumbest criminal I've ever seen in my life, or this was staged, yo.
Yeah,
Like,
but you think all criminals are smart and strategic?
they're not, but come on, man. That was, yeah,
Yeah, but my question is like,
yeah.
why go that far though? Like, you really think that people are out here for that much clout that she would stage a robbery
Yo, social media is a hell of a drug.
at her job, no less?
social media is a hell of a drug. Yo, when you got
Okay.
people putting gorilla glue in their hair to get clout, come on. I don't put anything past anybody. Like seriously,
Yeah, yeah.
that thing was staged,
I
man. I'm
was trying
sorry.
to give her the benefit of the doubt. But you know what? The reason why I was trying to play devil's advocate is because it reminded me of the story that happened recently. I believe it was in New York because you know they have like I think this right to pass thing
Yeah,
now. And I think the waitress or the hostess or someone was asking this group of girls for I believe their passport, their mandate, you know, the
yeah.
vaccine passport, all of this stuff. And they pretty much whooped her behind. Like they got into this
Wow.
big brawl because she asked to see their, you know, their mandate or you know, whatever their passport that said that they
Hmm.
had the COVID shot, and they literally had jumped her. So that's
Wow.
why
Yeah.
I'm thinking about that situation, and I'm like, well, could it have been staged? Could this have happened? Or granted, maybe they're two completely different incidents, but it just reminded me of that, and that's why I'm like, you really think people will go that far to
Yo,
get out?
I wouldn't be surprised, yo. I wouldn't be surprised. Black Sheepdog is in the building, and we got
Hey, Tony.
Common Sense Media Group. He said a real thug would have turned her into a subway.
Ah,
Yeah,
G's and
yeah.
P's.
And I gotta give it to Vic. He said she wanted unemployment. That's hilarious. But yeah, that was staged or whatever. It was another comment that Anthony said. What happened to chivalry? Something along them lines. That's true. What happened to chivalry? Like, yo, you didn't see a nice woman behind the counter and you couldn't have just walked away? Like,
Yeah,
come
but
on.
still, like again, just playing devil's advocate. We don't know what this woman had on her mind. This job could have been her everything, and maybe in her mind, she just felt like, you know what I mean. She had to
Yeah.
protect it by all means necessary. I don't know. The majority of people
See?
say it's stage, so I guess I don't have a winning battle in this.
The subway G Dog said the subway employee should sue the franchise. I'd rather let the person rob me instead of me putting my life in danger. Anyone with a gun is winning over you. I agree. I agree.
Yeah,
Now I'm not gonna front. When I first saw this story, I was like, "Yo, they suspended her
yeah,
after fighting," and I was like, "Yo, what the people in the community should do? They should boycott that store because it's like, how are you gonna fire somebody for saving your business from losing money?"
exactly. And
But
defending
then when I
themselves.
but then when I looked deep into it, I was like, yeah, I don't know about this one. Yeah, let me see.
So
Yeah,
let
this
me ask you this question: if she didn't upload it to TikTok, then would you feel a little differently?
you said if she didn't upload it,
Yeah,
I probably would have felt differently. But soon as I heard uploading it to TikTok, I was like, because think about it. For you to take a surveillance video and then upload that, that's work. That's not something you go on YouTube and download the
maybe
video.
she's proud of her work though.
I get it. For you to go through that.
Yeah.
And listen, here's the thing. They didn't suspend her till she uploaded it to TikTok. So
Okay.
they just took it as, all right, thank you, whatever,
They
yada
took
yada.
her word for it.
Yes, it wasn't until she uploaded it.
I don't know. I
You
think
was
it
better
could
off
have been.
you was better off doing a news article or something.
Yeah, but even if it was, I could think. Okay, so to me, I feel like, what if it was real, but because of what happened, she wanted to upload it to TikTok? Yes, for the clout and to be insta famous. But I don't know. You're right. Maybe people do some crazy things for clout, but for me, I'm like, to go that far though, to stage a robbery, like that's crazy.
Yo, say that to Jesse Smollett. Say that to Jesse Smollett.
Yeah,
He clearly went a long way to stage a robbery. So if
yeah,
Jesse Smollett, a person that got money, could do it, hey.
that's true.
Yeah. So
That's true.
got you on that one, huh?
I forgot about him.
Uh-huh.
Was it
Oh
the
man.
guys from Africa with the MAGA hats?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, it definitely looked stage or whatever. Hold on, let me post that. Let me go through the comment section actually and see what other comments we can post up there. Erica Pierre, I'm not fighting a burglar at any job. Sorry, not sorry. My life is more important. to that company is fully licensed and insured. So if anything happens, the owner will process a claim. That's
Exactly.
true. That's true. Everything's insured. You know. Let me see. He said, let me see. Tanisha Doulas. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Tanisha Doulas. She said, could that be tampering with evidence? It
Possibly.
could be. It could
Yeah.
be. That's a great
Especially if it's
point.
an
That's a
ongoing
great point,
investigation.
Tanisha. Yeah, that's a great point. Kudos to you, Tanisha. That is an excellent question. I didn't even think about that.
Exactly.
Let me see. Yeah, G Doll said it looks stage. Um, Mark Pinkney. Thank you for thank you for joining the stream. Appreciate the support, Mark Pinkney. People want to be famous for all the wrong reasons. I agree, 100%. We see that.
Absolutely.
We see that so many times. Common Sense Media, crackheads shoot people too. They do. Yo, I real story. I know somebody that personally got knocked out by a crackhead.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah.
And they admitted it?
Yeah, this was a crackhead that everybody would pick on or whatever. So we had like it was like in my teen years or whatever. So we picking on this dude or whatever, and I
You
think
telling on yourself.
one of my boys, right? One of my boys like had a bike or something and went like in the backyard to get water because you know how people backyards got the
Yeah.
water whatchamacallit. So he went back there to like drink water or something. The crackhead showed up back there. Yo, caught him with a smooth two piece, laid him out. My boy was gone for like 30 minutes, whatever. We
Wow.
like, yo, where's such and such? Because we all just sitting down chilling, like, yo, where's such and such? Your man came back stumbling, like, yo, where's your bike? Yo, you know that crackhead? Two piece, knocked me out. Ain't even give me a biscuit. Like,
Wow. That's crazy.
yo, smooth knocked them out. And crackheads got serious strength, yo. It's like fighting a drunk person. A drunk person, yo, they got that He-Man Herculean strength. Like
Oh my
seriously.
gosh.
So
You
yeah.
speaking from experience?
Yeah, because I
Let
have
me
a boy of
find
mine that
out.
no, I have a boy of mine that every time you go to a club with him, he would drink. And once he do, he's pushing everybody and big dude too. Like, yo, probably about my height, probably like 270, 280, but like solid. Yo, pushing people around. It's like, oh, here this guy go. Every
Wow.
time you go clubbing or whatever. But yeah, it's crazy. Let me see. The subway employee got her 15 minutes of fame. All these women seeking attention. She is a clout chaser. Gun dump while fighting somebody with a gun. Exactly. Exactly. It's nuts, man. But
Yep.
yeah. And thank you, G Doll. I love your show. I appreciate that. I appreciate, loving the show and we're entertaining. Definitely. All
Never a
right.
dull moment over
Yeah.
here.
All right. So we're gonna move on to the next topic, which is to me like this topic is nuts. This topic is nuts. Before we even go into the topic, do you want to cover the actual person, or we cover the topic as abroad and then go into the actual person who we're speaking about? Which angle you want to go with?
Yeah, let's start with the person we're speaking about
All
first.
right. So the person that we are actually speaking about, get the tab ready.
Come on, DJ, push play.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm trying. That is the wrong tab. Sorry. I'm still learning.
Hey, DJ, push play. Here we go.
Yeah. Chrome tab. All right, here we go. All right. So, a New Orleans 9/11 operator facing arrest for allegedly disconnecting calls deliberately. So, a New Orleans 9/11 operator deliberately disconnected emergency calls without obtaining necessary information or relaying the caller's emergencies to other dispatchers. And she is now facing arrest, according to authorities. Precious Stevens, 25, is wanted on account of malfeasance in office, and she remained at large Thursday, police said. She has been fired from her job as a 9/11 operator. Stevens worked for a New Orleans Parish Communication District which dispatched first responders to 9/11 calls. On August 24th, the district reported to police that Stevens had deliberately disconnected 911 calls without obtaining vital information or informing other dispatchers about the calls who were in need. That's pretty much the gist of the story. And the crazy thing about this story was that this was during the time of Ida, Hurricane Ida, when you had a lot of people who were in need. So this raises the question: do you think a lot of times, like with a lot of like these police cases, when they respond to 911 calls, that sometimes they don't have all the information because of people like this woman?
Absolutely. Remember that song, 911 is a joke in your town.
Yeah. And as far as this one, number one, she just tarnished her career. Like her career is done. But
Absolutely.
not, I'm sorry. When you're in a field of working where you're like dealing with people like 911 or MTA, stuff like that, I'm sorry. They should have like screenings for these people because you literally have people's life in your hand.
Absolutely.
So if you hire a person who's, God forbid, a racist or mad at the world, or they're just here just to make a check and don't really care, because let's face it, you have jobs where you like, yo, I don't give a f about this job. I'm just here to get a check.
Yep.
These type of jobs, you need people that actually give a damn about the job they're doing.
It's sad, but unfortunately, even in other professions, you have people that have that mentality and they don't understand and how they're hurting people. But in a situation like this, they're harming them in more ways than one. I
Yeah,
mean, someone could have died.
that's true. That's true. And look, if you have a 911 dispatcher who, let's just say for sake of argument, somebody is calling and they're distressed, whatever, and you heard 911 calls where the person is belligerent, like, excuse me, I'm talking, whatever, yada yada. If you have the right one, they can purposely give police like misinformation
Absolutely.
as a means, like, oh, okay, that's how you talking to me, I'll show you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's a field that you got to be careful about. So it makes me ask the question: a lot of cases where 911 like cops show up, are they told misinformation on how they handle a situation?
If they're even given the information.
Exactly. Say the report is somebody call up, hey man, somebody's going through mental, has a mental health breakdown, whatever, and they're out here yelling and being belligerent, whatever. And if, depending on how the conversation go, ma'am, you know you're yelling at me, yada yada. Hey, officer, there's a guy that's dangerous there. He has a gun or a weapon or whatever. So handle it X, Y, Z. You get what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
who knows what the person can be saying to relay the message, especially if the person don't
Absolutely.
give a damn, like this woman.
And they fail to realize that when a person is in distress, you're going to yell. You may even
Oh
curse.
yes.
You may,
Oh
and
yeah.
it's not directly at that person. It's
Yep.
just in that moment, your adrenaline is running. You know, you're upset, you're sad, you're worried. You know, you have all of these emotions going on.
Hmm.
And I get it. You want the person to calm down so you can get all the information, but it's also the way that you talk to people. You know, if I'm in a crisis, I don't need you to tell me, okay, ma'am, I need you to be quiet. So, you know, how about you say, okay, I understand you're upset, but can you try to get to a, you know, a calm place so that way you can give me all the, you know, it's the way
Yeah.
that you say things.
I just wanted to comment on something that, where the heck did the comment that Anthony said? It said something about the screening. Yeah. It said, he said, oh, G Dow said it, screening and background check frequently. And then somebody, I can't see the comment, but it said that somebody, I think somebody said they do screening and background check. Here's the thing: if you're going to do a screening and background check on people of service, law enforcement, MTA, 911 calls, people of those, I believe Strategic said this once in a live. I believe they should speak to the people's significant other, the people the group they grew up with, their neighbors, because those are the people that seen the like the many shades of this individual.
Mm,
So if this person is XYZ, it's gonna come out. And the reason why when you screen these people, you'll get a better understanding, because even if you have one person who say, "Oh, this guy's a racist," but everybody else is saying the same thing about this individual, that he's not a racist,
yeah.
guess what? That person just probably had a thing out for that person to say something negative. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I
but I
think they
mean,
should include that in
sometimes
there.
But yeah, sometimes your references though don't have to be 100%. I mean, let's be honest. Sometimes when you give your reference, how many times have people out there asked their friend, like, "Hey,
But
can you
but
act like you were my
But Tia,
supervisor at
but
this
Tia,
last job?"
I'm not talking about reference. The reason why I'm saying I'm not talking about reference is because if you go for a government job, trust me, or a state job or something, trust me, they don't need your references to go looking to see who you know
No,
and
but
who knows you.
you said
You get
that
what I'm
they
saying?
okay. So you're saying that they should do like something like a pretty much like a government security clearance where they talk to like random
Yes,
people.
to find because these are jobs that you literally have people's life in your hands.
No, you're right. But again,
You
it
get what I'm
doesn't
saying?
mean that people will still be 100% honest. Not
It don't
unless you
mean
get
it.
some random coworker, the person you or someone, you know what I mean? Like that's still not a guarantee.
It's not a guarantee, but at least it's something. Because think about it right now, like what we're doing now clearly doesn't work as much. You still
No, you're
got
right.
these people slipping through the cracks. So what I'm saying is, why not try something different?
That's true.
Adding something in there. Like what's there to hurt? If it don't work, hey, okay, it's a waste of money and resources. Bet, scrap it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So, but yeah, and the reason why I say it segues into it because the next video I'm gonna play is something that happened in Atlanta, which is a direct correlation to this.
Mm-hmm.
So here it is. Let me cue it up. All right.
And a man shot by a suspected car thief calls into Atlanta 911 for help, only to be put on hold for several critical minutes. Dinner time Sunday evening. This is one of the cluster of restaurants in Buckhead. An employee went outside for a short break just after 7:30. He sees two men trying to get into a car. They see the waiter. And the guy shot him in the arm. Bleeding, the injured employee thinks fast and makes a call to 911. No one picks up. The hold recording repeats. Seeing the commotion, another Timer employee decides to call an Atlanta officer she knows to try to get him to intervene. Hey, Ray, this is an off-duty police officer advising that somebody was shot at 3085 Kima Restaurant, happened in the parking lot. And we're trying to get this information out because they tried to contact 911, but nobody was able to answer. A dispatcher from Atlanta 911 gets on, trying to sort out the confusion. Are you at the location right now, sir? No, I'm not. I just got this call from my house. Whoever was the caller who got shot, they need to call 911 or have someone who's on scene call 911 right now so we have a contact number for someone to meet up with. With no first responders on hand, others at the restaurant take the injured man to the hospital. At Atlanta City Hall, a council member has a question about why there seems to be so many cases in which calls are not being answered within 10 seconds, the target goal. What progress is being made to bring those answering the call times back down to, I guess, acceptable levels? There is a shortage, but we've hired a large number of people this year to fill some of those vacancies. Here's what happened and what often happens. If you make repeated calls, the recording comes on, you hang up. Those are what's classified as abandoned phone call.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. My thing is, soon as if a cop got through to call you and at least let you know what's going on, how do you just blow them off? This is a law enforcement. You get what I'm saying? A police officer who's calling, reporting a crime. What does it matter if somebody is there or not? If you're reporting a crime, that's like saying, "Yo, around the corner from me or 2 blocks down, I heard a gunshot. Are you over there by the gunshot? No. Well, have somebody that's there call." Like
Exactly.
what? Like
Exactly. And as
um,
she mentioned, maybe because of the shortage, that was the I mean,
before
which
you
is
go
no
on,
excuse.
Tanisha Sage it. Thank you for the super chat. Definitely appreciate it.
Yes,
Appreciate it
thank
100%.
you.
Thank you for supporting the channel. Now, what were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say not that it's an excuse, but with them having the shortage, I wonder if that also has something to do with it.
It do, but my thing is when a person got through it, if you know there's a shortage, try and get as much as information from the person. Even if you're like, "Yo, can you stay on the line? Can you is there a way you can get in touch with the person who's at the crime scene?" Because if you're saying it's a shortage, who's to say that the person they trying to call they'll get through? Hey, can you speak to the person? Can you three-way them? Can you do whatever? There's
Yeah,
ways to go about handling it. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah,
yeah,
you're
man.
absolutely right.
that 911 thing is number one, especially people in the black us in the black community. We already kind of like, you know, distance ourselves as far as trying to call law enforcement and stuff like this. So when we
Exactly.
do try and call, yo, we expect to get the assistance that we need.
Exactly.
You know? So
Exactly. And
yeah,
it makes
man.
me also wonder, because you bring up a really good point, do these same type of things happen in our counterparts communities?
Ooh. I, I wanted to I saw this comment. Sorry, I said we can touch on this comment, but go on after what you said. Go
No,
on.
no, no. Go ahead. No,
No,
I
no, no. Go
finished
on,
my
go on, go
point.
on. Oh,
I was
okay.
just saying, I was wondering if that also happens in our counterparts communities or if it's only in the urban areas.
I don't think so. I think 911. I keep saying 911. I think 911 respond quicker
Mm,
and more upscale areas because I think it's less crime. So it's not 911 constantly be blowing up as much as I would think in
gotcha.
a urban area, so to speak. I could be wrong, but I
Mm,
digress. So if they get a call, there's going to be enough staffing to handle the call accordingly. You get what I'm saying? But if you're in the hood where there's crime, let's just say Chicago or something like that, you don't think their 911 is blowing up
yeah, that's
crazy?
true.
And that was in ATL that this was happening. So yeah. Okay, so G Doll said sidebar. Did y'all hear about the MTA engineering let his girlfriend drive the train and he got fired? Absolutely. Did you
Yeah,
hear about that?
I did.
Absolutely. He was taking her out on a date or something like that and let her drive the MTA, which to me is ridiculous. Number one, she wasn't even supposed to be in there. Number one. And number two, why would you put all these people's lives, like risk all these people's lives just to impress a woman?
Exactly. Exactly.
That's
Man, if you
crazy.
need some creative ideas on how to impress a lady, please
Yeah,
Google it.
exactly. Yeah,
Ask it in the matter opinion chat, something. But please don't do that. Please,
yeah.
everyone out there, don't get an idea to do that again.
So Anthony Upton said, not true. The response time is the same. Okay,
Oh,
well,
okay.
no, the response time could be the same, but I guess I'm talking about calling in. What I'm saying is in a nicer area, I don't think 911 would be blown up as much as if you have an urban area like Chicago.
Mm,
I'm saying that there would probably be more calls on the hour by the hour on the hour in Chicago or Atlanta than it would be, in a nice upscale area. That's what I'm saying. The response time, that I have no idea, but it probably is the same as you said. So
yeah.
but
And
yeah,
I'm
I
not
was
trying
just
to
talking
always
about
make everything a race issue, but sometimes I
yeah.
just wonder though, like if it was in a different area, would the same type of thing happen? Or, because it happens so often. And, when you hear it happening in certain areas, it's like, okay, but I'm pretty sure the community is predominantly, black and brown.
Mhm. I agree. All right, let me see. So let's go through the comments. All right. So we got G Doll, the dispatcher will reap what she sowed. I agree. And she's on a run right now. So it's just a matter of
Absolutely.
time that she'll get caught. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah,
Let me
karma is
see.
big. It's definitely
Oh
benefit
yeah.
to her.
I feel like people get these jobs, think it's all glitz and glamour for the money, and don't realize that don't realize what they signed up for. I feel like you choose these type of jobs, then do your job. I agree. I agree
Absolutely.
100%. I even say that to people that work as a cashier in Walmart. I'm like, if you signed up for this job, do it to your best capability. If you don't like the job, don't take it out on the customers.
Absolutely.
Find another job. You get what I'm saying? Put your personal feelings aside. Even if I don't like a job, I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. Like, I'm a truck driver. When I'm at the location I'm at, I'm not going to complain. But the minute I get in that truck, you best believe I'm going to talk crap. But I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do it to the customers. You get what I'm
Yep.
saying? I,
Yep.
I got to, conduct myself. Because here's the thing. How do you know if the person you're being a prick to, the next job interview you go to, that happened to be the manager who's hiring?
Exactly. And
You don't
sometimes
know that.
exactly. And the way I believe karma works, sometimes it doesn't even have to hit you directly. It can hit your
Yeah,
children.
exactly.
Or you know what I mean, someone close to you. But you're right, because I noticed that even in my profession, you have some people that feel like they're overworked and underpaid, and they give students half the information, and you're doing a
Hmm.
disservice to the students.
I
You're
agree.
not, so it's like, you have to leave your emotions at the door and
Exactly.
do your job.
Exactly. You don't like it, look for something else. But come to look, we already nowadays be phony. Hey, good morning to everybody.
Yep.
No, you're not really happy. So come on, like, yo, put up the facade if you have to. Then when you go home, then complain, punch a pillow, whatever the case you gotta do.
Exactly. And
So
you know what? I used to have a supervisor that used to say if she woke up on the wrong side of the bed, she would call out. And she used to tell
yeah,
us that too. She said, if you, because her boyfriend's mother at the time told her that, if you wake up one day on the wrong side of the bed, just call out or work from home. Because
exactly.
you're not gonna
Exactly.
do anyone
You're not
any
gonna be
good.
productive.
Exactly. And then
Yeah.
also you'd be surprised if you're the supervisor, you're at the head, and you come in, everybody else's temperament is based on how you feel for that day.
Think about it. You could have a day, everybody's in the office like happy. Yo, all right. The boss walk in with an attitude or a
Yep.
coworker walking in an attitude, you like, oh boy, this
Exactly.
day is about to be
I'm gonna retreat to my office.
yeah. Yeah. So that's how it goes down. Like,
Yes,
yo,
avoid them at all
that
costs.
negative energy like bounces off, it reflects off of everybody. You get what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. Even like when it comes to significant other, if you happy to see a significant other, they show up like, yeah, all right. You like, oh boy.
Exactly. It's one of those
You like this
days.
gonna be one of them days. Like, okay, let me keep my mouth shut and just namaste. Like, yeah. All right. Sajay said, these are high burnout jobs. Maybe people should hold these jobs for more than maybe people shouldn't hold these jobs for more than 2 years. I see this type of behavior all the time in social services. That is true.
Yes.
That is true. But that's why I do now I could be wrong. Maybe they do supply these people to see like therapy and stuff if they need to decompress and stuff, right?
Yeah, they do.
So the question is, are these people using their resources? Because I'm pretty sure they know it's a stressful job. So they give you the resources that you might need so you can, prolong your career in these professions. So that's something
Absolutely.
that we got to look into.
Even with
Maybe
my job, and
Hmm.
like we have EAP, and I don't know if that's for educators or just for state workers, but we have it in their free workshops that you can go to, or pre-recorded webinars, and it
Yeah.
varies. It could be on if you're struggling with weight loss, if you're struggling with grief, if you're struggling with a divorce, like literally the topics vary. So if you need it, you could log in, and you could watch the webinar, and they have, like, I believe it's 24/7. You can call the hotline. Somebody will be able to assist you. And it's
Hmm.
not an additional fee. It's just
Yeah.
because, we work for the state.
Yeah. Anthony Upton, he said, when I went for the state police, they don't ask for people. They go investigate their own. See, and
Mm,
that's the thing. If you speak to a regular cop, they'll always tell you state police, they like it's very rare. It's rare. You don't hear of state policemen messing up like cops do. Because
yeah.
it's a whole different hiring process with state police, whatever. And I think another problem too with police officers is they're underpaid. State
Oh,
cops,
yeah.
state cops make bank. So it's like I'm not gonna mess up my career for this joker over here. Nah, I'm gonna
Exactly.
do it by the book and not mess it up. It's crazy too because when I was a kid, down the street from me, growing up in Linden, down the street from me, there was a state trooper that lived like down the street or whatever. And this dude, I mean, for years, he was close to retirement. This dude got hit with the biggest drug, like, because
Mm,
he was like, bussing like people who were selling drugs, whatever. He was getting raids on, people who were selling drugs or whatever.
yeah.
But this dude was taking the money, all of that stuff, like crooked as I don't know what. It was a big investigation. Cops all on the block or whatever, because he was literally the next block over. Yo, people is just like, man, this guy is dumb, yo, because you had a promising career. You was right there for retirement, the whole
Exactly.
nine, career down the drain, yo. And it's very, like I said, I very rarely hear about state troopers doing like some crazy things because it's like, yo, the risk isn't worth it. It's not worth it at all. So
So
let me
then you
see.
bring up a really good point. Then I wonder, and granted, I don't know what 911 dispatchers make, but I wonder if it's the same thing because they feel like they're overworked and underpaid. They don't really dedicate themselves as much to the job as they should. In which case, like you said earlier, either find a different profession, or maybe after X amount of years, either they go for a
Hmm.
reevaluation or something, because this is
Mm,
ridiculous. You hold someone's life in your hands.
that's true. That's true. Let me see. Everyone has a moment. I know when I do, I let my people know up front. Yeah, that's true. You know me. I'm quick to be like, yo, man, I'm having a bad day. I don't feel like talking. I don't feel like thinking.
Yep.
I let it be known.
I'm quick to tell you, like, you know what, I'm in my feelings.
Yeah, yeah. You know. So,
It's just one of
yeah,
those days. But I do the
exactly.
same thing at work.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as I come
Yep.
in, I'll tell my secretary and my grad assistant, like, look, it's nothing personal. It's just one of those days. And they know to only call me if it's an emergency or if they want to do lunch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
let's feed her. Maybe don't put her in a better mood.
G Doll said, when I have a bad day, I go smoke Mary Jane. Keeps me happy. Facts indeed. You know what I gotta say to that? Thank God they made it legal. Cause me personally, I prefer a person smoking Mary Jane than cigarettes. That's just me personally. I would accept that any day. I don't smoke, but if it was like, hey, can you be around a person that smokes cigarettes or weed? I'll pick weed any day.
Really?
Any day, yeah.
Why is
Because like
that?
who do- who have you heard dying overdosing from weed? The only time you hear anything that happened with weed is if it's laced with something.
Yeah.
Cigarettes, lung cancer, all types of different cancer. But weed, the only thing you do is get hungry and want to munch on some chips or something.
Yeah, but sometimes it can make you lethargic also. Now, granted, I don't smoke either. So let me just put that out there. But
Yeah.
sometimes they say that it can make you lethargic and you
It-
don't want to do anything. You're not as productive.
yeah, you're not as productive, but what I'm saying is it's not a process that's slowly killing you where cigarettes are. I think cigarettes is more detrimental to your health. And then on top of that, the people around you, they're getting screwed because at least your cigarette has a filter. Everyone around you is just breathing in that cigarette smell,
Yeah.
getting the full blunt of it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying it's the lesser of the two evil. And I don't believe weed is evil because number one, it's of the earth. So if you just have straight up weed of the earth, because think about it, Indians and stuff, what was they using it as? It's medicinal. And a lot of people use it as medicinal with way less side effects than these pills.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Way
Yeah.
less side effects.
You're right.
So that's why I'm like, yo, I'm happy they legalized it or whatever. And because truth be told, me, even though I drink, liquor is way more detrimental to your body than weed ever is.
Yeah, you're
Ever
right.
is.
You're right.
Ever is, you know? So,
You're
but yeah,
absolutely right.
shout out to my weed smokers. Shout out to them making weed legal. You feel me? Yeah, and she said I never share my marijuana. I'm selfish. See, I hope you don't not the type that yeah, you don't share your marijuana, but you'll jump in a cipher. Like, yo, pass it this way.
Yes.
You mean narcotics. Bad cops remind me of the movie Brooklyn's Finest. I agree. I agree 100%. Most companies with EAP services now just not just educate. I'm reading wrong.
Yeah,
Most
they hooked
companies
on
have
pharmacy.
EAP services now, not just education or state jobs. Yeah, look, man, I just passed the third grade last week. All right, so
Yeah, I
relax.
told you, you getting that
Work with
hooked on
me. Work
phonics for
with me. Work
Christmas.
with me. Look, man. Look, work with me. Work with me, everybody. All right, so we're gonna segue into the last topic of the day, which is a woman that attacked her sister while she was in a job interview.
Yes.
This is let me cue this up real quick. It's pretty short too, so yeah, here we go. All right. Window. Roll that footage.
Wow.
Yo, shout out to the person that took out his phone and was like, I gotta get this.
Yes, I gotta get this. So pretty much the woman's sister showed up to her job interview because she found out that she was sleeping with her husband. So
Hmm.
yes, the lady was sleeping with her brother-in-law. Now, first and foremost, let me just say, ladies, I don't understand. Now, I get it. They're related, they're sisters. It's a whole different code. But if you find out your man is cheating, why do we always go after the other woman instead of the man? I never understood that.
I don't get it either. I don't get it either. Your quarrel should be with the person who was supposed to be committed to you.
Exactly. Like I told you about the incident, with one of my friends. I wasn't with her that day, but with a guy that she was dating, and they weren't even in a relationship. But she saw, I don't know if he was talking to someone else or she suspected it, but she pretty much attacked the girl and didn't do anything with him. Was still talking with him, still trying. And I'm just like, wait, am I missing something? Like the other woman didn't know that this is your man or this is who you're talking to or none of that stuff. So I don't understand why would you attack the other woman as opposed to attacking him. Now, I don't condone violence. Let me just put
Yeah,
that out
yeah, yeah.
there. But if you're going to go after somebody, go after him. That woman owes
See,
you nothing.
here's my take. This dates back to our Kevin Samuels debate that we had. And stay tuned because we got another Kevin Samuels live debate that we're gonna have. Well, mainly a discussion, but it's gonna be centered around Kevin Samuels. So stay tuned for that in the next couple of days at that. But it goes back to what you said, how women like when we was having this discussion, it was like, yo, if the guy's not giving what you want, then just leave. And you're like, it's not that simple because it's hard to find the guy that clicks all the ticks all the boxes or whatever, yada yada. So I think in her mind, this dude ticks all the boxes, and here you are trying to steal my man, whatever the case may be. I get it. Her call should be with him, but do you think that's what her thought process is?
I mean, I get it. And again,
Mhm.
it may be a little different because it's not just her man, it's her husband. I don't know if
Yeah,
they have children together. And this is her sister. So, like I said, maybe, it goes beyond girl code. Like, this is blood.
yeah.
But I'm sorry, I am not going after the other woman. I'm going after him.
Look, to everybody watching, man, don't fight for no P or no D.
Yes.
If you're gonna fight, fight for chickens, because they'll die for you just so you can eat them. You know what I'm saying? So don't fight for no P, no D. There's so many others in the sea, so to speak. You get what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
yeah, man. But yo, family though, family can be family can be a tricky situation because they always say if you're gonna go into business or something, go into business with a friend, not family. Because
Yes.
family have the potential to screw you over. Because of the simple fact, it's like, yo, we have a forever bond. So
Yeah.
even if I screw you over, you're gonna forgive me. You get what I'm saying? Whereas friends more so value that respect, where it's like, yo, I can lose this friend because a lot of people value their friends like that. But family, we look at each other like, man, I'm in your life forever. We blood.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like I don't know, man. I would never have the thought to sleep with my brother's wife. Like that makes absolutely no
It
sense.
does. I mean, they say the flesh is
Yo,
weak.
before you even go on, like before you even go on, I remember I was at a job, right? And the dude was the manager or whatever, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I don't really got no friends. I just go home and chill with my lady or whatever." So then I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." I was like, "Yeah, I don't like too many new faces. I kind of stick to myself too." He's like, "Yeah, my friends stopped messing with me because my best friend he died, and I married, his chick." I'm like, "Whoa, wait, what?"
Wow.
I couldn't even marry or date my best friend or my boy's girl. Now, I understand if you have associates, all right, cool. Associate, it is what it is. But best
Yeah.
friend, wife, that was his best friend's wife. He died and you married her.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. We're talking like we're talking like this was a dude who was like in his 20s or whatever. Now, when we're talking you're in your 50s or 60s, I can get it. Because now you're older. You get what I'm saying? Like when you're older, you're not out there trying to look. You more so stay in the lane or the company you keep, so to
Mhm.
speak. So I get it 100% if you're in your 50s, your 60s, whatever the case. But dude, when you're 20, 25, come on. That's who you I don't know. Maybe I'm missing the boat. Am I wrong for thinking
Man,
that way?
listen, I don't care if I'm 50 or if I'm 20 or whatever. I am not messing with any of my friends' men, their ex-husband, and nothing because to me it's like
I don't wanna cut you off, but you know what it comes off as you was plotting on this dude's chick, right?
exactly. And then on top of that, it's like y'all done shared saliva and bodily fluids and yeah, no. No,
Yo,
no. But
yeah.
that's crazy to
But
me.
yeah, yeah. So everybody who was in his circle, nah, yo, you cut off. How do I know you're not gonna try and smash my wife or something, yo? Like,
Exactly. And the
so
other
yeah.
thing is too, like if that was the case, if it was just a, you know, you just had a heated a moment, you wanted to mess with somebody, like there's so many other men and women out here in this world that you could have messed with who had no
Hmm.
relation to your wife, who probably wouldn't have even found out, and you go to her sister. And like even for the sister, like all these men out here and you had to go to your brother-in-law, like that's sick.
Yes, yes. Hey, well, at least we know your man is definitely about keeping it in the family. So
That is really crazy. But yeah, like, but just to go back to the point that I had made, like, I just don't understand, like, ladies and fellas, when you get into this situation, please stop fighting the other person.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
just and also if you have no intention of letting them go, let them cheat in peace. Like,
yeah,
stop harassing
yeah,
people.
pretty much.
Like, this
Yo,
is crazy.
and the most gangster part was she showed up at the interview where she knew she was gonna screw. I'm sorry, that was planned because you had to know this chick was going to an interview,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
you
they're
said, "I'm gonna."
sisters. Of
No, no,
course they
no. But
communicated.
what I'm saying is, the sister that attacked her, she planned it strategically where
Oh
to
yeah,
do
yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying, like where to retaliate. She's like, "Oh, okay, you're gonna go in an interview. I know you need this job. Okay, I got you.
Exactly. You hit me
You get what
where
I'm
it
saying?
hurts,
Yo,
so now I'm gonna hit you
look,
where it hurts.
I'm a person who I believe in what's the word? I'm like I believe in getting even. So if
Yeah.
I'm gonna get even, I'm gonna do it in the worst way. So that was ingenious. I
Oh
gotta give
yeah.
kudos to her.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
let me see. Where's the cheering? Where's the cheering effect? There we go.
No, we don't condone violence.
We don't condone violence, but what I'm saying is her tactical approach was ingenious. That's what I'm giving her kudos to. Cause that was devious.
It
That was
was.
devious. And now, lucky her saving grace is they didn't show her face clearly.
Yeah.
Because any interview she go to, like, yeah, call her in.
Like,
Yo,
oh,
I was
that's
just watching
you.
you. I was just watching you on the internet. How you doing, man?
But you know what?
You
I
get what
wonder
I'm
if she
saying?
still
Like,
got the job, if they gave her a second
yo,
chance, or like how far in the
I
interview did she get before they decided, like, no, ma'am, you're not going to take this
yeah,
job.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Any interview she go to, the boss would literally be on the computer watching TikTok or something and be like, "Yo,
Like,
is
yes,
this
that's
you?
you.
Come here. Is this you? Oh, I'm honored to meet you. Can I have an autograph? All right. Thank you for the autograph, but we cannot bring you on board.
No.
I love your work though.
Oh
But
my
oh
god.
man, G Doll said family are the worst enemies beside money. Money, family, business don't ever mix. I agree.
Yes.
I agree, man. You have brothers that it's very rare that you have family members that go into business together. And I won't say it's very rare, but a lot of times when you have family members that go into business, it can go to the wayside. It can go to the
Absolutely.
wayside, man. And also, G Doll said, "I'm tired of women fighting over community penis. Yes, ladies, stop these trends. Men just keep
Yes.
laughing at you like a fool in the end." Yo, but you know what, G Doll? You got men that will fight for the P too. You got
Yeah,
men that
but for
will fight
both
for the
sides,
P.
they shouldn't
Yeah,
do
no,
that.
I'm just saying, yeah, and both sides, it's ridiculous. Like, just walk away. Like,
Exactly. Like it's
just
one
walk
thing if you
away.
have your suspicions or insecurities, but it's like once it's confirmed, like
Yeah,
she can have you. I'm so good.
yeah. Rick said that's a good friend. He loved his boy. Now he's gonna love his wife.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
yeah. Shots fired. And Erica Pierre said, "I feel the people who are too. I feel the people. I feel like people are too grown I guess that's supposed to be grown to be fighting over shared D. Sister and husband now cut it off. Yeah, are now cut it off. Yeah, I agree, man. Like we should not be fighting over community P and community D. Yo, it people like sex is so common nowadays. It's like breathing in oxygen. Like you get what I'm saying? So you
Yeah,
could have got it from anywhere, anywhere. You could have got it from anywhere.
exactly.
So,
Exactly. And then,
but
I mean, but on the flip side, because always got to play devil's advocate. I
yeah,
do understand though where the wife was coming from because it's
okay.
like, yo, like we took these vows together. Like I said, I don't know if they have any kids, and then you're supposed to be my family. Like, granted, who knows what she may have done to him, but
This
I can
no, go on.
understand. Like, I'm not saying I agree with what she did, but
Mhm.
I understand because, ladies, you know how we are, very emotional, and like you said, maybe she could have strategically put that, together. Like, this is what I'm going to do during this time. Or maybe she literally had just found out and was like, oh, she's at this interview. I got something for her. Like, we don't know the ins and outs. But I understand where she's coming from. But again, I don't condone violence. Just leave it.
This, this is what I would say. If they lived in the same house together or something like that, and she allowed this her sister to walk around him with panties and bra or stuff like that. Not to
Mhm.
say that it's condoned, but yo, you made that dude look like yo. She got a little fatty over there. I
No, no,
don't know.
no. Because at the end of the day, you should have self
No,
control.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is that doesn't help the process.
No,
Think
you
about it.
should have
Think about
self
it. Listen,
control.
listen, listen,
It
listen.
doesn't matter.
Listen. This is what I'm saying.
Okay.
If I have a boy that I know this guy is like prone to try and smash anything, whatever, and he's like, "Yo, man," and I know he's trying to give my significant other a ride home. I'm not letting him give her a ride home. Like, come on now. There's absolutely no way. Or if I don't know, I'm trying to think. Or if that particular person lived in the house, whatever, I'm not letting my lady walk around in panties and bra around this dude.
No,
Because
you're
that
absolutely
you get
right.
what I'm
I
saying?
see that.
Why subject to the it's kind of like I don't know if you don't care if we had the conversation that we had before where you like, yo, if you go to a club with your significant other, you don't want him grinding on some chick because
Yeah.
yes, you trust him, but at the same time, you looking at it like, yo, this chick, I can't trust her.
Yep.
So just to nip it in the butt, don't do it.
Yep.
So just nip it in the butt. Don't let this don't let your sister walk around butt booty naked around your dude. Or if you know your best friend got a six pack and freaking look like the Rock, yo, can I stay with you for a couple of months? I'm off my feet. Nah, man, I'm sorry. You live in a 12
Like,
bedroom
no,
mansion. Nah, ain't no space in here, dog. I can't help you. But don't nah, I'm sorry, man.
I see what you're
Yo,
saying.
so but yeah, man. But I'm like I said, I'm not saying it was condoned, but I'm just saying if that was a situation like that, maybe I would have a little sympathy. That's what
No,
I'm saying.
I hear
But
you, but at the
yeah.
end of the day, you still should have self control.
Oh yeah, definitely. I agree with that 100%. 100%. How come I can't play devil's advocate peacefully?
Nope. Nope.
Like
You
what the
can't.
hell? Like come on, man.
Nope. You can't.
All right, if you passed, would you want your significant other and your kids to be with a trusted friend or complete stranger? That's a good question. But see, there was no kids involved.
Yeah.
That's a good question. You know what, Tanisha? I never looked at it that way. That is that's why I said if you're older and you're like older down the line, I'm okay with that.
Mm.
But when you're in your 20s and stuff, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just thinking of that's the used vag that my friend was going in. Like, you
My gosh.
get what I'm saying? Like, yo, I don't know. But that is an excellent point. I never looked at it like that. What is your take on that?
Wait, what was the question again?
If you passed, would you want your significant other and your kids to be with a trusted friend or a complete stranger?
I would want my significant other to be happy. So, I mean, if that means, I don't know, I just feel like friends and family are off limits.
Just remember too, all the craziness we're living in now, people killing kids and all of this stuff. Like, just think.
I'm sorry. I want them with someone else. Get to know somebody
You,
else.
you diplomatic
Man, listen,
from you.
if I'm married and I, no, he is never marrying again. So let me stop. But no, but no, I don't think that he should be with any of my friends or family. I'm sorry. They're off limits.
All right. Yeah, that's a good. I like that. That's a good question, Tanisha. Okay, there's more divorce rate than long lasting marriages. That's true. That's true. I agree with that.
Wait, men still get married nowadays? Oh, that's a topic for another day, right?
All right. At Tanisha, I would want her to be with someone who loves my kids the same way I love them. Yeah, that's a good. That's pretty much what Tia said. So
Yeah,
I could see. Okay, I'll give you that.
that's
Okay.
right.
After 10 years, I still haven't met some of my wife's old friends. Oh, okay. I guess I don't know. She's like, nah, I don't want you in my circle.
Exactly.
I want to have my own friends. I don't need you all up under me.
But no, you'd be surprised though. Sometimes
Yeah,
people get in relationships and they're like on purpose. They don't want any other
yeah.
woman around their man, you know.
But you know what though? In a way, that's not such a bad thing because when you're happy, focus on your happiness. I don't care
Yes,
about outside parties. So in
absolutely.
a way, that's probably not a bad thing. In all honesty,
Absolutely. Because when
yeah,
you put it out in the public, people tell
yeah,
those beautiful things,
yeah. That's true.
especially
So
if they're miserable
yep,
or they want what you have, or
yep.
yeah,
Especially when you're out there promoting. As soon as you're out there promoting and something go wrong, all that promoting you was doing, you're gonna get all that blowback and pushback.
exactly.
Yeah. What was that?
I
What was that? What was that person you said who was posting on Facebook all her happiness and once she broke up, they was coming for her on in the comment section.
Oh yes, Danny Lay when she was with the baby.
Yeah, yeah,
It was
yeah,
like she was
yeah,
posting him. He was in her
yeah.
stories. They were making little TikTok videos.
Uh
The
huh.
moment they broke up, it was like, aha, you were a pick me for
Yeah.
nothing. Oh,
Yep.
he went back to his baby mama. He's a
Yeah.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
people are horrible.
That's true. Anthony, that could be a Anthony, that could be a trusted friend. Yeah. Let me see. G Doll says the world is messed up. I agree, one
Yes, it
hundred percent. The
is.
world is whew, the world we live in. That's why I said, man, I believe we at the end of days for real, for real. She is doing so much. You took the time to go to someone else's job interview and beat her in public. Now you look crazy. She do, but I guarantee you she's not thinking about it. She's thinking about this felt awesome.
Yeah, because when you're like, if you think about it, when you're high on emotion, like they're quick to tell you when you are really, really happy and excited, don't make a decision. Just like if you're really, really angry and sad, don't make a
Mhm.
decision
Yeah,
because you're not thinking,
yeah,
logically.
that's
So
true.
that's why they say don't commit to anything, don't
Hmm.
agree to anything, don't do any of that stuff. And in this instance, too, I don't know if
Yeah.
she took a breather or if she thought it out or if she heard it and automatically went to her job. I don't know.
G Doll said, I'll say a trusted friend, a stranger you know nothing about from a can of paint. That's the same reason why I said, yo, I never looked at it like that. I would rather my kids to be in the hands of somebody I know who would take care of them. And because you never know nowadays, like real talk, you never know nowadays.
Yeah, but even in the same, again, playing devil's advocate, even then you still don't know because somebody could be putting their best foot forward and you still don't know who they are, how they are until you move in with them or until you marry them. Like, I could easily be the best friend and be like, oh, yeah, and I love you and I love your kids and I love your family. And in the moment we get together and it's like, oh, they're coming over again. Oh, we have to do this with your family again. Like, you never know what a person's
That's
true colors
no,
are.
that's very true. But think about it, even when it comes to dating and stuff like that, people are more willing to give they all with a familiar face than an unknown face.
I
So
don't agree.
it's that level of I guess it's that level of comfortability. I don't know.
I don't agree because I feel like if you're familiar with the person, it's like I know you. I don't have to try too hard because I know you. But if it's a stranger, oh yeah, I'm going all out. Look at homeboy, the MTA driver, letting homegirl drive drive for
Yeah,
him.
that
Like,
is true, but that is true. But what I'm saying is when you're at the point of life where you like, yo, I'm tired for games, I want commitment to settle down and stuff, the familiar face is the one who you're gonna give more because now you know what to expect, so to speak.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
That's
what I'm
true.
saying. So, and
Yeah.
we're talking about a woman that just lost her husband. You lost your husband, so now you want to confide in somebody.
Yeah.
You would be more comfortable, especially nowadays, man. Like, yo, the
See, I
stories.
don't know because with my situation, like my ex boyfriend had passed away when we were together. And the last thing I was thinking about was messing with one of his fraternity brothers. Like
No,
for me,
no, I
for me, it
understand
was
that.
like
I
I wasn't
understand.
thinking about his
I
friends.
understand you're not. I understand. I'm not saying it's a recipe that everybody should go by, but I'm just saying. And if somebody put a gun to your head and was like, "Yo, your husband passed away,"
Really? A gun to
who
my
you gonna?
head.
Yes, put a gun to your head like the subway chick that we covered. The dude and the dude and that came up to the subway girl. He put a gun to your head and was like, "Yo, pick stranger or your husband's your late husband's best friend. What you picking?"
I'm taking
And
the
no, he's
stranger.
not. And no, he's not dropping the gun this time. All right, he's
I'm
in
going
full
with the
control.
stranger.
All right, hey, all right, cool. That's for me. I don't know. I'll be like, can we play a little Russian roulette before I decide? All right, it's not a control. It is because they would be out with the booty shorts trying to get eyes. That's true. That's true. They would be trying to get attention with the booty shorts and thongs and stuff out. So, all right. Sidebar: Don Lemon versus Nicki Minaj over vaccine. I'm a huge fan of Nicki. This huge online. Let's have a discussion about it.
All right.
You
You
were
know
just
what? I
talking
mentioned
about
this
that
to
too.
you. So, for those of you who are unaware, Nicki Minaj has been in the news because she made a comment that she didn't necessarily say she wouldn't get the vaccine. Can we keep saying it or should I say the V?
You can say it.
Okay, so she didn't say she wouldn't get the vaccine. She was just saying that she wanted to do a little bit more research. She wasn't sure if she wanted to get it. But then she also made a comment about how her cousin's friend in Trinidad had it, and as a side effect, his genitals swelled up.
Mhm.
And a lot of people came for her neck. I believe her name was like, what is it, Joy Reid? All these different people were saying to her, you pretty much are putting out misinformation, especially for your platform and people of color who are already not getting the vaccine.
Yeah.
And her fans actually stormed, I believe, the CDC. They're like protesting, probably even still protesting right now in Atlanta. And, they're protesting saying that Nicki Minaj technically didn't say anything that was wrong. It's just that I think for her platform, they wanted her to promote it because if you look at the VAERS, I
Mhm.
believe they did say something about it could possibly be a side effect. It may not be for every male that gets it, but it is there. Now, some people say you can't believe the VAERS is not credible. Depends on what you believe.
That's
But
true.
it's still going on. People are coming for her neck. At one point, I believe they took down her Twitter. I believe it's up now. But yeah, they're coming for her neck about her comments with the vaccine.
See, and like you said, I don't even think what she said was really wrong because it's just, hey, this is what happened to a person I know.
Yeah, and
She
then
didn't. You
also,
get what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
then the other thing too, I meant to point out, there's also reporters over there in Trinidad who are trying to interview her family. And she was saying how now she has them, I believe, in hiding. Like, they have to stay away from the media because people want to interview them. And I guess actually find out who this friend is with the
mhm.
enlarged testicles.
Maybe we
But
could ask Kaylin James, who just commented. Thanks for joining the stream, Kaylin. Go on.
But yeah, like it, and keep in mind, she did post something not too long ago where she was encouraging people to get the vaccine. So again, she didn't say that don't get it. She didn't say she wouldn't get it. She just said she wanted to get more information.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. This is what raises suspicion is because anytime you say anything or question it, people come for you. And
Absolutely.
that's the problem that people are not understanding. That's what makes people cause to pause. It's like you can't have an opinion whatsoever or even a thought. It's like you just supposed to just take it as it is and run with it. And
But
that's
that
it.
goes, yeah, but that goes with anything, not even just with the vaccine. It's like if you make a comment about certain topics, whether it's politics, it's homosexuality, it's, anything, you make certain comments, it's automatically, oh, you're homophobic. Oh, you're
No,
against the
I get
vaccine,
that. I
you
get
know?
that. But what I'm saying is if you make any negative comment, they are deleting it.
Oh, yeah, about the vaccine. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They're deleting it 100%. So even if you want to look up information about negative side, yo, you gotta scour. You gotta dig deep. You gotta go
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
websites and stuff like a locals or something where they won't censor you. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that's basic. That's pretty much where I'm like, I don't agree with that prince. I don't agree with that. Now, other people will say, well, that enables you to spread false news. Well, at the end of the day, that leaves it up to people to do the research. If you be transparent about everything in totality, people will research and then draw their own conclusion. That's
Absolutely.
where I'm at with it.
No, you're right. And the thing that bothers me is the fact that they have all of these mandates. And I have a friend that's a doctor, and she's 100% pro vaccine. She even said if she needed to be a spokesperson, she would. I hope she's watching tonight so she knows I'm talking
Mhm.
about her. But she made the comment where she's like, think about it, because of, just again, playing devil's advocate. We have something that's out here that you could potentially give to somebody. You could give to someone who's immunocompromised, and et cetera, et cetera, and they could die from it. It's not like it's a regular disease, like, let's say, diabetes or
Mhm.
something else. It's like, no, this is something serious that can take out tens, if not hundreds of people. I mean,
Yeah,
look at
yeah.
who's already passed. And I
Hmm.
understand that, but my issue is, what happened to me having free speech? What happened to me having control over my body? Like, if I don't want
Yeah.
to get this, but I want to wear my mask, why do I, like, even students have been complaining, because even if they take online courses, they still
Hmm.
have to have the vaccine. If not, they were deregistered.
Mm.
So I know at my institution we have a lot of students that we lost because they didn't want to get the vaccine.
Yeah. And just like G Dolph said, even if you ask a question, it's being misinterpreted as you're saying something negative. That's pretty.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then also, I don't know if you're aware of Candace Owens. When she went to a clinic because she wanted to get a COVID test, they denied her because they said, no, you're putting misinformation on your platform. So they denied her. And it's like, it's a little hypocritical because
Yeah.
she's trying to get the test to make sure that she doesn't infect anyone, especially if she doesn't know that she has it, and you're denying her. But yet
Which
they
which at
supported
the
her.
end, which at the end of the day is gonna bring more questions.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? So and
Absolutely.
I guess we're gonna end this off with the comment Vic said. Vic, there's a special comment to you. Clap back to you. The food shortage is not going to come anytime soon until 2024, possibly 2025, if Trump gets reelected, because we know he's fighting to be president again. So
And
everything's gonna
also,
everything's gonna calm down. If Trump wins the election come 2024, we gonna see the rise of everything again. Food shortage, paper towel hard to find, everything. Because for Vic, he's like, yo, they got it out for his boys. So
but you know what? Even Mike Pence, he said that he would run for.
run, yeah.
Yeah, he said that he would run.
I don't think Mike Pence got a chance, to be honest with you. I don't think so. But
I
yeah,
don't
paper
know.
towel,
People
all of
aren't
that.
too happy with Biden right now.
They're not. That's what I'm saying. Yo, Trump. If Trump runs right now, depending on who they got running for Democrat, if a lot of people aren't happy for Biden. So
No,
if Biden's numbers like go to the toilet and Trump runs, I think he got it.
absolutely. And a lot of people, depending on who you speak to, they felt as though, because Biden already made it clear he's not running for a second term. And a lot
Hmm.
of people feel as though he's trying, or was trying, to set it up so that Kamala would slide into that position for the next presidency. But a lot of people don't like her. I told you there was a petition not too long ago. They wanted him to replace her.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting story. The plot thickens. The plot
It
thickens.
does.
Yeah,
It does.
but this is gonna be the end of the live. We're going on
Wait, hold
2 hours
on.
here.
Before you end
Okay,
it, because we had the
okay.
curveball with the what about Nicki Minaj?
Oh yes, yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
I
Go
just
ahead, go
wanted to, and also I don't know if people felt like calling in, but I just wanted to get your opinion on everything that's going on with the, I believe it was around 10,000. Don't quote me on the
Yes.
number. About 10,000 Haitians that
Uh-huh.
had arrived at, what was it, Mexico?
Yes. No,
Yeah,
Texas.
no,
Texas.
Texas. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
that arrived at Texas, and Biden is making sure that they have this mass deportation. And I not only wanted to get your take about it, but I also kind of wanted to know what what basis do they use to determine like which refugees we help and which we send back to their country? Because
Well,
to me, I just thought that that was
before we
ridiculous.
even go into that, because I want to hear your breakdown about like all the other refugees, how they let some come in and some not, whatever. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
No, I'm asking you. I want to hear your take because I
Oh,
know you're
sorry.
saying yeah.
I thought you said something else.
Because
Yes.
for instance, like when Elian Gonzalez came to America, everybody was like, "Hey, let him stay, whatever." And you get other groups that they let stay and stuff like that. So I want your take on that.
Yeah, like I just personally feel like if you look at what happened recently, and again, for anyone in the comments who you want to call in, you want to correct me, please do. But when you look at what happened in Afghanistan and with the refugees that are coming over here, it kind of makes me feel like it reminds me of what happened with the Jewish people. After the actually during the Holocaust, because correct me if I'm wrong, the United States knew what was going on. They knew what Hitler was doing. They turned the Jewish people away. They came over
Hmm.
here. They were trying to get help. They, on boats, all of that, and they literally turned them away. But
Yeah,
then afterwards, because of everything that happened with the Holocaust, then they made sure, and even to this day, they make sure that they took care of them. They made sure that they allowed them over here. So it kind of reminded me, fast forward, of what's going on with the Afghanistan refugees, where because the United States knew what was going on and they just recently pulled out, it's like, okay, mea culpa, we'll let the refugees come over here so we can help them because the whole 20 years that they were there, I don't believe anything significantly changed. Like, yes, women were able to go to school, like, yes, little things like that were happening, but there weren't significant changes because look at as soon as they withdrew, the Taliban took back over, if I'm not mistaken.
hmm,
And I just feel like they allowed the refugees to come on over here because it's almost like, oh, okay, yeah, yeah, our bad, we messed up. Yes, you could come on over here. And they're trying to find different places that they can, in different states that they can place them. But I don't understand, why aren't we doing that for the Haitian refugees when they just had their president assassinated? They had the earthquake, all the corruption that's going on. Like, you don't even have to Google it, even word of mouth. You know what's going on and what's not going on in Haiti. I don't understand why we have to have this mass deportation for all of them. Like, there's no
okay.
place that we can put them.
So here's my thing. For those who don't know, I'm Haitian. I'm Haitian American. But me personally, I classify myself as Haitian or whatever. So the reason why I believe now this isn't 100% or anything like that, but my personal belief on why is because Haiti is being made an example of, and this dates back to when they gained their independence.
Hmm.
When they gained their independence, that's the only country that had to pay. It may be the only country that had to pay reparations to those that basically enslaved them. And we're talking the money that they were paid were in the millions that they had to pay. So that's number one. So with that also, they also like stop other countries from dealing with Haiti and also strip them of their resources. So to this day, that example is still being made out of because that's the country that gained its independency. So that's why I feel as though with them ready to kick the Haitians out and they're letting other people come in and at least stay blase blah and go through different processes, whatever. They're making an example out of Haitians,
Hmm.
shipping them back to Haiti or whatever. That's just my personal take on the matter. You
I
know,
understand what you're saying. And
yeah,
again, you don't always want to make things a race issue, but it just makes me wonder if it's because they're Haitian. Is that why they're sending them over too? And again, I'm not one to always make things about race, but
yeah.
I just oh, Vic said he wants to call in.
Go ahead, just click the link. Let me send it again. Click this link, Vic, and you can call in. Now you could have your camera if you want to, or you could just have the microphone, whichever one. And for those watching, please don't forget to click that like button.
And
Definitely helps the
subscribe.
YouTube algorithm. Yeah, and subscribe.
Yes.
But yeah, but go on.
But yeah, like to me, it doesn't make sense. And also, I just wanted people to know like there are so many ongoing efforts to help the people of Haiti. So there's one that I'm familiar with, NJ for Haiti. If you want to, Google them, you want to look them up,
Hmm.
you can donate. You can find ways that you can, do community service, whatever it is to assist. You don't have to physically go over there,
Hmm.
but anything that you do, whether you want to donate medical supplies, tarp, you want to contribute financially, it's always appreciated. And I just also want to point out we don't have to wait for a natural disaster before we support someone.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, man, Haiti right now is going through a lot of different things right now, and the road to recovery, like I said, will always take a long time because, like I said, they're stripped from their resources.
Yeah.
They don't got people trading with them and everything like that. The corruption is running rampant. So yeah, it's definitely a tough time.
Hmm.
So,
Oh, I
but
think
yeah,
Vic's having an issue.
oh, he's having an issue with it. Yeah, it's just from the link. Let me see. So Erica P.S. said, in general, for a refugee to become considered to come to the U.S., the country they are coming from has to either pass persecute, had to have either past persecution or be well founded fear of prosecution. Wow. All right. There he goes. Vic is in there. What's going on, brother?
Hey, Vic.
Hello? Did you enable your microphone? Technical difficulties. Yeah, just disable your video camera and
Yeah, we could
hello?
partially see you.
Yeah. But nah, you don't need to. You don't even need to have the the camera on. You could just have the vocals on, the microphone. Still can't hear him.
And there's nothing you could do on your end to enable his audio.
Nope, not at all. All right, we'll put it to the side. Erica said she was gonna call in, so we'll put it to the side. Try again, Vic. All right, I got it. I got him in the green room. So once he I guess straighten it out, whatever he can. But yeah,
Okay.
but yeah, we'll see if give a couple of minutes, see who will call in, and if not, we'll call it a day. But yeah, man, that's where I think where it stands at with Haiti or whatever. So
Yeah, but this is just crazy. And a
yeah,
lot of people, especially a lot of Democrats that supported him and voted for him, are kind of looking at Biden sideways because of how he's handling a lot of things. But I think the mass deportation of the Haitians, I feel like, is almost like the straw that broke the camel's back.
yeah. All right, Vic. Hello, hello. Yeah, no sound, no sound. I don't know if you enabled your microphone or not. All right, we tried. We tried, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey now, you hear me?
Now,
Yes.
oh, now we can hear you. Yeah.
You hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes.
unmuted it. Oh, now which is
You
going
know
to
you in the
comment
dark. You
on the
might.
Haitian thing.
Yeah. You in the
I'm
dark. You should have just did the took the. Well, we're gonna have a couple of people on because Erica's on the line also. Hello, Erica.
okay.
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah. All right.
You
So
can hear
yeah,
me?
we got
Hi,
Erica and Vic. Yeah. Hello. All right.
I'm
Vic,
here.
you
I'm
good?
here. Yeah,
All
I'm
right. So
good.
yeah, so we can start the conversation. All right. So we can start the conversation.
No, I was
All right.
calling
So
about the
yeah, what
Haitian
did you have
thing.
to say on it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm
Um,
listening. What's up?
I told you all the time, Wally, and this is my opinion. I tell you that they will always make an example out of Haitian people, man. Haitian people were the
Mm-hmm.
only people that had the courage, man, to get them devils, Europeans, out of the land, bro. And they're
Yeah.
making an example of the Haitians, man. They're letting the rest
Yeah.
of the Caribbean and Latin countries know if y'all ever uprise against us, y'all will end up like Haiti. That, in other words, that's
Yeah.
Mm,
what they're doing with Haitians, man. That's
Hmm.
my opinion. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah. And I agree with you 100.
I
percent
agree.
Yeah. Why?
You make an
Why
example.
you
You
think
make
all
an
them?
example of
Why,
them.
why you think all them Spanish countries and them all them Caribbean countries, bro? They bow down to America, bro.
Yeah.
They bow down to
It's a
this
power.
country, bro.
It's a
They're
power.
scared,
It's a
bro.
power trip. It's a power
Absolutely.
Yeah.
trip.
That's
What's
what
your
it is,
take on
man.
it, Erica?
Okay, so in general, the reason that I feel like, and I'm not saying this to point out Haiti in general, but when you look at just like the U.S. refugee laws, in general, you have to either be someone that has experienced prosecution or going through it or fear of prosecution. So think about with, you know, in general, if you're coming as a refugee from places that are at war, a lot of times it's because the country themselves is at war with each other. They're prosecuting a religion. They're prosecuting, you know, a different race that's already there. They're prosecuting, on the
Hmm.
stance of nationality. So the biggest reason for Haiti is it's not that they're prosecuting, like, yes, they're fighting each other, so to say, but they're not trying to hold one person down over another. So that's the biggest reason where I don't see them helping Haiti as much as helping some of these other countries. I don't know if, like, eons ago, I remember where people were coming over from Ethiopia. They had like the little kids that were soldiers that was coming over. So you're talking, this is probably like mid 90s, mid to late 90s. I remember, those were the refugees coming over at that point, because even in New Jersey, we were starting to see some of the refugee kids getting integrated in our schools at that point. But it was more on the fact of, hey, it wasn't like we were doing student exchange type of programs. It was more of, hey, these people came over. We have to figure out what schools they're going to. We got to figure out what grade levels they're on. You don't know what these kids did, previously to coming over, but some of these kids were really traumatized. And you had some of these kids were orphans, where your whole families were getting killed by one group of people over another. So yes, that gave them a reason to come over to the States. Now, with the one from Mexico, the little kid, I think you guys said it, the one with the name with the E.
Yeah.
You got to
Ilian
think about
Gonzalez.
with him. He was on a
Oh
boat
yeah,
in
that was the
turbulent
Cuban kid.
waters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the Cuban kid. And think about it, this is before, the Cuban borders were open. It was like, yo, if you brave them 100 and some odd miles to get to Florida and these sharks, and whoever else you was with is no longer, like, there was a reason. Some of these stories you'd be like, yeah, those was extreme circumstances. All right, I guess you're gonna have to just stay over here, because, like, what are you gonna do? You sending them back over to a country that was
Understand.
cut off,
That's
in
understandable.
the 50s and
That's under,
60s.
that's understandable. But the crisis that's going on in Haiti, like, come on, that's a crisis situation right there. So
Correct.
that's not
Which
enough
is,
Yep.
to.
it's a crisis, but it's nobody holding a Haitian person down, unfortunately. You have some, are excelling in Haiti and some who are not. So it's not that there's one group of people taking over Haiti in general and holding the rest of the people down. Yes, you got corruption. You're gonna have corruption everywhere. That's why, places like Jamaica are not going, hey, we're refugees. No. It's more of, hey, you still got tourism. You're still bringing money into your borders. So anytime you have people that are getting money into their borders, anytime you have where it's safe for somebody to go over there on a pilgrimage, or to go offer aid. You know how many times after a earthquake or hurricane or something hits over there, they're sending planes over with food. They're sending doctors, Doctors Without Borders. At any point when you can't send doctors and people to go help the people that are there, that's when your status becomes different. We'll be like, nah, we get refugee status at this point. Until they get
I
refugee
disagree
status,
with that one.
they're
Yeah,
not
I
gonna
disagree
they're
too.
not gonna send
No,
people over.
what that sounds like to me is just excuses or loopholes to find a way to basically beat the system, so to speak.
Yeah. And
Well,
That's
think
the
also,
way
about
I
it
look
though.
at it.
Like, that's usually the case though. Anytime
I
you get
I
somebody to
think
come
I
over from
think
another
Eric, I don't
country,
like
guess what?
Haitians.
That's money that they have to pay for a visa that is going to their embassy, and 9 times out of 10 coming over to the States as well.
All right, what
Because it's
was you
not like
saying, Vic? Oh, no, go on. Finish what you were saying, Erica.
well, in general, think about it. The people, people that are still coming over from Haiti legally, you're not utilizing whatever, currency is in Haiti. You're using US dollar. So it's, hey, you want a visa to come over? They're still making enough money to, if people want to sponsor you to come over, you're doing that. These companies that you're getting, companies, sorry, these countries that you're getting refugees from, 9 times out of 10, they're not bringing money with them. They are, at the lowest of the low. And then it's like, okay, how do we get them better? You sent people over there to help aid a war that is still continuing. You done pulled them troops out at this point. So the only other thing is you pull some of the people out when you pull your people out. Because until things change over there, they're always going to be refugees. Haiti,
Mm.
unfortunately, is not a refugee situation. When you have tourism, you can't be considered a refugee situation. You can't.
Mm.
I disagree with that, Erica.
Me too. Like I said,
Yeah,
man,
and
I believe they're making an example out of them because regardless, past the present, yo, they've always found a way to screw Haiti over dramatically by any means necessary to make an example out of them. So I don't know.
yeah,
Tia,
Wally.
yeah,
Now go ahead,
yeah, I'm
Lucia.
listening.
Go ahead.
Nah, go ahead, Tia. What's your take?
I mean, I don't know. The Doctors Without Borders and the nurses and stuff, they may be over there, but I know, just speaking from a higher education standpoint, we haven't sent students over because of the fact that we still need to make
What is
sure
that?
that the area. Sorry,
Oh,
that's a train in the
well,
background.
go on.
I couldn't mute it because I was talking.
Well, go on.
But we still haven't been able to go over because remember, whilst I made that comment to you, I was like, it's a possibility that I may be going over there to assist with some of the efforts, but
Mhm.
we have to wait until we get the green light that it's safe for us to go over there. So yeah, the doctors of all of that, yeah, absolutely, they're over there. But in terms of regular people coming over, institutions coming over to volunteer and to assist, we still are put on hold because of everything that's going on over there and things that aren't even advertised in the media.
So there's my question. So if it's a danger zone over there and you have people over here, why are you sending them back to a danger zone? Why not harbor them for a little bit until things are okay and then you send them back, even if you are going to send them back? But Vic, what were you about to say?
I was saying that I disagree with Erica. Haiti does need help more than the Hispanics trying to cross the border, and more than them sand people, them sand terrorists that are coming over here.
Yeah.
Because it's 2021. Haiti, no disrespect to your country, Wally,
Hmm.
but Haiti is a third world country in 2021. The only island in the Caribbean that's living in third world conditions still. Kids eating mud cookies, bro.
Hmm.
Out of all the countries, I think Haiti needs the most help out of everybody. Haiti does need help
Hmm. I
You're
agree.
absolutely right. Even with
more
the
than
water
any island in
system,
the Caribbean.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Even with
they don't got
the
nothing. They live
water,
like third world.
exactly.
But
Which
They don't
which and
have
I get
nothing
that,
in Haiti. Haiti is
but
like
in
they
general,
dropped a
the
bomb
last
here.
time that Haiti was considered refugee status was the early 90s. 91 and 94
mm,
is the last time that they've
But how
ever
can
you
Haiti
know,
be refugee status when they're flocking to Dominican Republic for a better way
well,
of life? The tourism is not booming in Haiti. The
well,
tourism
and
is
that's what I was
booming
going to
in
say.
Jamaica and
Tourism,
Dominican Republic.
correct. But you also have to look at the layout of how Haiti is shaped too. Haiti is more mountainous compared to being on the other side, which is more sand and
Yeah.
beach.
but Erica,
So,
the point that you're missing is that Vic, what basically Vic is referencing to is they're making all these excuses to put Haiti in these categories.
correct.
That's what it comes down
Which,
to.
and like I said, I understand where he's coming from, but you got to think about the issue itself, though. Nobody's holding Haiti down, being it a social class. So yes, Haiti needs help because guess what? You've had earthquakes, you've had hurricanes, you've had tropical storms. It's a difference. You don't have, like, yes, I understand, the president got killed. Yes. But you're not killing 40 and 50 million people, thousands and thousands of people every day. Haiti's not at war. They're not losing their infrastructures due to people. They're losing their infrastructures due to natural disasters, which is a difference.
Yeah, it still may be a difference, but America helps out way a lot of countries that go through natural disasters and everything like that. But when it comes to Haiti, it's a different. They make exceptions to the rules and want to bring out all these rules and regulations. So in my opinion, I don't like I said, it's not a fact. In my opinion, they're still suffering, making an example out of them. No matter how you slice it, I can understand all the stuff that's being said, but it seems like they keep moving the goalposts every time when it comes to Haiti as far as bringing help to the country. So that's the way I see it, you know? So,
Yeah,
but yeah,
it's true. I agree with you, Wally, on that one.
yeah. So that's just my opinion, like I said. So, but yeah, thanks for calling, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, because
All right.
we about to wrap this
Bye,
live up.
guys.
So, all right,
Bye. Have a
thanks
All
good
for
right,
calling
night.
everyone.
in. Have a good
Yeah, have
night,
a nice evening.
everybody. All right, you no doubt, you too.
Okay.
All right, but yeah, so yeah, that was a good conversation. We're gonna wrap
No, it
this up because
definitely
yeah,
was.
we're over 2 hours now. So Sean King, thanks for coming through. Yeah, we're about to wrap this live up. Whatever, it was definitely good. You could check the replay. I'll post it soon as we end this live. So
Perfect. And
Miss
don't
Tia,
forget
this
to
was a
like and
yeah,
subscribe.
like and subscribe. Miss Tia, this was definitely a fun conversation. Like I said, we are going to have this Kevin Samuels live in a matter of days, a couple of days, or whatever.
I'm
So
ready. Cause
stay
see, the
tuned for
last
that.
time your subscribers ate me up in those
Yeah,
comments.
yeah. So we're gonna do
I'm
it. Now
prepared now.
we're gonna have a debate and also adult conversation on the matter too. Because there's a lot of things I see, that's misconstrued with the whole Kevin Samuels and everything like that. Red pill, blue pill, all of that stuff. So
Alpha
ladies and
male, beta
gentlemen, yeah,
male.
I know. So everybody, thank you for coming through. This was a great live. I appreciate, everybody's comments and participation inside the comment section. Like I said, man, because of you guys, you make this fun and we love covering topics that everybody is interested in. Don't forget to join the
Absolutely.
locals. That's where you'll see all our unfiltered content on there. And yeah, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Any parting words for everybody to you?
Yes, don't forget to also join our Facebook group.
Yep.
And in there, you can post your questions, your
Yep.
comments.
Even
The,
promote your own content. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Promote your own content on there. So you got an event going, hey, post it in there.
Exactly.
It's
So
for it's
matter of
for the
opinion is
yeah,
not just a show, it's a movement.
yeah, it's for the people. It's for the people.
Yes. For the
So
people.
yep. So thanks for coming out. Like what's his name? What's dude from Def Comedy Jam say? Thanks for coming out. God bless ya. Good night.
Peace.
Peace, everybody.
What time is it? I woke up, soaked from a bad dream. I've been sweating like crazy. Got up, skin stuck to the bed sheets. Open window for a cold breeze. I have nothing to eat in my kitchen. Old coffee and yesterday's pizza. Listen, I promised to clean my floor, but I have no interest to fulfill my chores today. As long as the sun is shining and the weather is showing its face, just like me, it's been hiding. People painting the world with its rays, so I skip on my obligations. Like so many times before, reach for the door out to reclaim my faith in the making. God, I am here for the day.